everybody, and welcome to ABCs of RPGs. My name is Dalton. I'm your game master for the day, and the game I will be mastering is Avatar Legends, the role-playing game, a heroic adventure game set in the world of Avatar, The Last Airbender, and The Legend of Korra. Today, I'm joined by some players with real names, not their character names. Spencer, do you want to start? Introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Spencer. Should I introduce my character too,
No,
or
just you.
me? What?
Just
Sorry?
you.
Just you.
Just me. Oh, yeah. I'm
Just you.
Spencer. I've been the game master for our first couple of campaigns. We did D&D. 5th edition did one of the starter sets, the essential kit, and we did Call of Cthulhu. I've been a 5th edition player for a long time, but this channel has really kind of allowed us to try out a bunch of different RPGs, and I love it. And of course, next up we have Dan.
Me. I'm going. Hi, everyone. I'm Dan. I've been playing tabletop RPGs for probably about a decade now. First time playing the Avatar one. I'm playing a character called Greenstone Sapa. He's just a shooty guy. No, not a bender at all. What else am I supposed to say here, Dalton?
Oh, you're good. Just say who you want to introduce themselves next.
Sorry, brain fart. All right, we're going to move it on over to Justin.
Yeah, Justin.
Hey, yo, I'm Justin. I've been playing tabletop RPGs for longer than I've had nieces. I've had nieces for more than a decade now. So,
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, wow.
Is that your
Wow.
birth of Christ? That's like where you divide your life in half, is when you got nieces?
Yes. There's BN and AN. BN and AN, before niece and after nieces.
Mm-hmm.
Quick point of order. AD does not mean after death. It means Anno Domini, which is the Latin
Anno
for
Domino.
after. Yeah.
Our Lord.
Anno Domino. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, year of our Lord.
Yeah.
Anno
So
Domini.
many people think it means like after death of Jesus or something, and it always pisses me off. Sorry.
Which is funny because in Spanish you need to say año, because if you say ano, you're saying something very different. You know what I'm. The more you know. Yeah. So don't say ano. Which is because you say I have years in Spanish, so you don't want to say you have 30 beeholes.
Makes sense. Ashley, who are
What
you?
if I do? Hi, I'm Ashley. My pronouns are she, her. I've been playing
so many.
I've been playing tabletop RPGs for a couple of years. This is my first Powered by the Apocalypse game, which is quite interesting and fun. I enjoy doing different things. And I'm excited that it's Avatar because I grew up with it. And that leaves Christian.
Hi, everybody. My name is Christian, and my pronouns are he, him. I am the newest player to the TTRPG space here on stream. And naturally, this is also my first Power of the Apocalypse game, so it's been interesting, very thematic, and role play. It's been awesome. It's been really it's cool to experience. So
Very cool. Happy to hear from all you guys. Happy you guys are all here. Like I said before, Avatar Legends is a world with a kind of fantasy setting inspired by Asian and North American indigenous cultures. It's a land filled with breathtaking landscapes, majestic hybrid beasts, and unique marvels of technology and industry. Yet it's also a world defined by struggle, in which there are no absolute villains or perfect heroes. Only people with complex motivations who come into conflict with others while striving to forge a future they believe is best. So now I want to hear about some of your guys' imperfect heroes and complex characters. Christian, why don't you introduce us to your character?
yeah, so my character is Zuri Taro. who is the Adamant. Uzuri has a background and militaristic background. His father was the a military advisor within Fire Empire. His mother was much less strict and more loving, but she passed away when he was younger. So now he's kind of become a little bit rebellious and questioning the ways of the Empire, and has kind of out of fate met the rest of the group and is looking to it's kind of established his own new lodestar in Ting, right? Yes, Ting.
Yeah.
We haven't dove into what that means and everything, but there's definitely a past there that he's trying to get away from. So
Very cool. What is something your character thinks is overrated and something that they think is underrated?
Yeah. So this is I would say he thinks especially when it comes to nations outside the Fire Nation, he wishes to spread the gospel of spicy foods. That's just very underrated when it comes to the other nations. Of course, the Fire Nation is very much, into that sort of thing. But yeah. So what is overrated? Well, I would say Uzuri I would say Uzuri just says like the oh God, I'm sorry. I don't have a good answer for that, really.
We could always come back.
Yeah. You might have to come back to me on that one, honestly.
Okay, cool.
But,
no worries.
yeah.
It's a difficult icebreaker question. It's one of my favorites. My favorite is not applicable to this world, unfortunately.
What's your favorite?
What's something in your Google search history that's revealing to who you are?
Oh, I like it. I like it.
But unfortunately, they don't
there's-
have Google in the world of Avatar yet.
They don't.
Fiona's
We all
never
could
Googled
journal
anything.
something.
If they were to
40 more
Google,
years.
if they were
What's
to
the
Google something, if Google were to exist, what would they Google? I think is
What's
a
the
way to-
strangest scroll they looked at the library?
Shoot singles near you.
Yeah.
Ashley, introduce us to your
Cool.
character.
I am playing Kiona of the Northern Water Tribe. She's in her early 20s. She's a waterbender, obviously. Well, not necessarily, obviously. She is a waterbender from the Northern Water Tribe. But she came to the Earth Kingdom because she was originally in the Northern Water Tribe military. She felt that it was corrupt, so she left. She deserted. And in the process, she stole her mount, Buffy the Corruption Slayer, a buffalo yak. And she is now trying to relatively blend into the Earth Kingdom because she doesn't want to get taken away to get tried for, treason and put to death and stuff for, deserting the military. So you know what Kiona really thinks is overrated? The government, just all governmental institutions. She just thinks that she's basically an anarchist. She's like, anytime
Government, like
the government
the
just
whole thing.
blanket, the whole thing is overrated. It will become corrupt at some point or another. She's like, let's just
Why bother?
yeah, why bother? Let's just ditch it completely.
like stop signs are good, but at what cost?
But
You know,
I
and
mean,
we can just pay attention to do what they do.
right. It's really quite overrated. Who needs laws?
Yeah, that's going to be Murray Bookchin's new novel is about how stop signs are part of the hierarchy. That's a really
love
deep
it.
anarchist cut. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Underrated. Spending a night under the stars. She feels like people are getting too into the big city life and don't take enough time to slow down and just look at what's around them. And you know, one of her favorite things is just hanging out under the stars, her buffalo yak around her shoulders, kind of leaning up next, you know, behind Buffy, and just looking out at the stars. She wishes more people would slow down.
Mm.
And yeah, as far as, are we talking about our playbooks right now as well?
If you want to.
So Kiona is a rogue. So she's kind of what it sounds like. She's kind of mischievous. She's got some bad habits that she tends to indulge in, and you know, steal things like that. And she feels like Uzari is really uptight. She wishes he'd engage in some more bad habits, loosen up a little bit. And I think that the more she gets to know him, the more willing he will be to also engage in said bad habits. But on the other hand, she really appreciates Song, and she really respects him and thinks that maybe they might be worth playing it straight for. But she's got these two principles. It's friendship and survival. So, you know, survival is kind of like, yeah, I'm going to steal shit and let, you know, Ting take the fall for it. And friendship is like, I'm going to get Uzari to steal shit with me. So it's pretty cool. I like this character. I like that we have these principles to work with. But it's fun. Yeah, I feel like I kind of babbled a bit. But that's Kiona. And I think Song is next.
Yeah, okay. So my character's name is Song. My role is the Bold, which means I am trying to find the balance between loyalty and confidence, which is tough for me as a person because I don't really find a conflict there. So I don't really see like.
Yeah, I feel like you can be both.
I feel like you can easily be loyal and confident. They're not conflicting principles.
I think maybe if I were looking for a conflict in there, there might be like a listening to others as opposed to like doing your own thing kind of there, like being loyal to another person and their decisions versus you're the
Like
one who's right.
my own defense.
I
Maybe?
also like to think of it as not necessarily two opposite principles, but what your character is being pulled towards one end or the other.
Also true.
So, yeah.
Yeah, they're not necessarily like in opposition to each other. They're just like two things you think are important.
Like mine definitely are, but like, yeah, yours could be just like, oh, what do I want to base my life around as a principle, right? So,
do I want to be more loyal or more confident?
Yeah.
Or strike a balance between the two.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Something I like about this game, you know, you get to it's very different from a lot of other games mechanically. So my history is my character is large, stocky, tan skin, black hair tied back neatly, and a neatly trimmed beard, simple clothes of tan and olive. He's about 25, 30. He also has a parrot lizard iguana. Which is cool because he got into an accident a little while ago and now he's blind because something tragic had to happen.
True.
So it happened to Song.
Hey, I lost my air glider.
Sacrifice.
It was so anyway, he is something of a kind of neighborhood detective. He's like Daredevil. Now that it's all coming out, he's basically Daredevil. I accidentally made Daredevil that's an airbender.
I thought he was an earthbender.
He's an
I thought
earthbender.
he-
What did I say? Airbender?
Yeah.
Yeah, earthbender. I made Daredevil. That's an earthbender,
He's secretly the Avatar.
and it is accompanied by a poo.
I mean, to be fair, if
From
Daredevil
Disney's
were a
Aladdin.
bender, he would be an earthbender, probably. I would imagine.
Probably.
I could see
I think
that.
so.
You think
Yeah.
so? I would think Airbender. He's all like flippy and like agile.
Right, but
That's
the
true.
echolocation and shit,
Yeah.
it matches more canon
Yeah.
Yeah.
to earthbending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyway.
Yeah.
I had the same thought as you, Dalton.
Mhm.
But yeah.
So,
Anyway.
well, in any event, Disney, don't sue me. I didn't mean to make Daredevil. That was an accident.
Disney sue him. It'll be hilarious.
Please don't. Y'all don't have anything you want.
It's okay. The stream isn't monetized.
No, they're too busy suing Ron DeSantis in
Yep.
Florida right now. So
Let's go, Dan.
Anyway,
True.
so I think the next person up.
Justin, did you say about what your character thinks is underrated and overrated?
Oh, yes. Okay. So Song thinks that overrated is Christian, what's your character's name? Wuhan? Zhao.
Uzari.
Uzari.
Uzari. Uzari's thrill for spicy foods is overrated. Spicy's fine.
Oh,
Earth foods are kind of bland.
yeah. What's
Comparatively.
underrated then?
Yeah. Like
Underrated is sight. People really don't take full stock of how awesome that is. That's how it's where
See, I
Song's at
thought
right
you'd
now.
be like, sight's overrated. I don't need it
Sight's
anymore.
Nope, totally miss it. Colors are cool.
Rip.
when you were talking about like an Earth Kingdom meal, it just made me think of like, oh, like a tasty meal for an Earth Kingdom is a bowl of rice with butter. Maybe salt.
No. Yeah, it's
And some cabbage.
I don't know.
There's just not enough
Cat-
like capsaicin in Earth Kingdom food. Like they've got spices.
It's just not as spicy.
yeah,
it's just not as spicy. It's just relatively bland. I mean, there's like thyme and stuff. Look, we have garlic, we have thyme, we flavor the foods, lemons. It's just like it's like comparing like Syrian or like Pakistani food to like French food. They just one's more spicy than the other. It just is.
Dan, tell us about Sapa.
Yeah, so Sapa, he is definitely not an amalgamation of Sokka and Usopp. Definitely,
don't sue him.
definitely.
Because it's
Yeah.
not.
Don't sue me because he's definitely not those two characters put together. So the playbook that he has is the pillar, which is all about being like the leader of the group. The two like conflicting principles are it's support and leadership, which is more about like, hey, when do you like when do you like provide like support and guidance to your teammates, like, and have those like one-on-one moments versus like where are you like the center of like the pillar of your team, right? Like it's more about like how are you being a pillar? Are you being a pillar like, and are you being the one who's like leading the charge at the top, or are you like more like in the back, like, hey, like, what's going on? Can we talk, right?
That's interesting. I kind of interpret it as you asking for support. Like, when are you willing to ask for support yourself?
No.
I think both are
versus
good.
leading?
Yeah, I totally get that vibe. I think a lot, if like, I don't know, I get my interpretation at least from like the different styles of support that you get. You get to pick two styles of leadership and two styles of support. So you kind of get to do both.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm also like, I don't know how like my principle's gonna get shifted too much. I feel like it plays like, or at least this is one of the easier ones that you could be like in the middle if you wanted to stay in the balance, because I don't really see like too much like where it's gonna make our make my principle shift. But yeah, so he not a bender at all. He uses a big slingshot. Definitely not like Usopp's from One Piece. Definitely don't picture that when I shoot something with the slingshot. Don't sue me, Ichiro Oda, please. I love you, Odachi. Don't sue me. What else? My underrated and overrated. Well, before I do that, a little backstory on Greenstone on Soppa. He's basically just a regular dude who lied his way into being the group's leader. No backstory. Basically, he moved from one side of the Ba Sing Se to the other. That's about the most exciting thing about him. Other than he's just a pathological liar and just decided it would be fun to talk his way into something. And then underrated and overrated. Underrated corn dogs. There's a corn dog stand around the corner from his old place in Ba Sing Se, and it was the only place in Ba Sing Se that he could get corn dogs. And now he's like pissed because like he doesn't have like if he wants to go get a good corn dog, he's got to walk all the way across the the city to buy to get that corn dog, which no one wants to walk across the entirety of Ba Sing Se for for lunch. So very underrated. He did not imagine how much he would miss corn dogs, but he does. And then overrated, the truth. Soppa thinks that the truth is overrated. Who needs to tell it all the time? No one needs to know the exact thing that's going on all the time. Who thing details, no one remembers the little things at the end of the day. People just remember the big picture, right? 20 years later. So who cares about the little small details? It's overrated.
Very
And
nice.
That's Soppa.
I love it. Spencer, tell us about your character.
Oh man, it seems like half our party are kind of like straight, kind of like good doers, and the other half are like, I don't care about the truth or stealing stuff. We'll do what it takes. And I'm playing Ting.
Morality is relative.
I'm playing Ting of the Northern Air Temple. I'm an airbender. My playbook is the idealist. So the two tracks that Ting has to wrestle with is forgiveness and action. So those are the kind of like very two opposing kind of things most of the time. So the main thing with the idealist is that there was some sort of tragedy that happened at a young age that he kind of went through. And he might not have shared with the party what exactly happened, but there is a reason why he's no longer at the Northern Air Temple, but he's kind of like traveling around on a pilgrimage. That's what he keeps telling everybody. And anybody who tries to ask, he may kind of like move on from the story a little bit too soon. But he does carry what appears to be kind of like a Earth Nation headband with him wherever he goes and such. So his main things is like as the idealist, you have this thing called never turn your back. So you have to pick like 3 of the 6 ideals you kind of follow. For example, Ting's is never strike the first blow, never deny a request for help, and never leave a friend behind. So he is constantly getting himself into maybe a little bit of danger just to try to help people out, help the common folk out. So and his underrated, overrated, I'm gonna say overrated. He thinks flying's overrated. Like, he's had his air glider, and he's definitely not compensating for the fact that it is now destroyed and he can't fly anymore.
Yeah.
But definitely flying is overrated. Who needs to fly anywhere when you can just walk with your 2 feet that you got on your body? So
Cope.
yeah.
So mean.
Yeah. and underrated is also going to be food, like everybody else is picking. He's gonna say watermelons because like watermelons don't really grow in the mountains. Not really the climate for watermelons. At least I don't think so. So he ever since he's been on his pilgrimage, he's gotten a good taste of like watermelons, and he really likes the taste of them. So he's a huge fan of that.
I think this is funny because real life Spencer hates watermelon.
Yeah, that is correct. The fan. So,
All right, Christian, what's overrated?
I was gonna say this earlier, but I wasn't sure if it was good enough response. But I would just say like Zerdy at this point just kind of thinks the Fire Nation's overrated. Right?
The whole
Like-
Fire Nation.
Yeah. Just like well specifically, I mean, coming from the military background and everything, I think it's just, you know, I guess the Fire Nation sees themselves as like this great thing, right? Like it's like super powerful and a pillar nation that others should aspire to or whatever, at least in my perspective. And I mean, they're just terrible generally, and we're finding that out, right? Like so like I think people could within the Fire Nation, like if they truly knew, like, you know, wouldn't be
They haven't
jerks
committed a
about
mass
it as much.
genocide yet.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So
Well, I think we can get to the story recap. Unfortunately, Justin's camera appears to be forked, and also I can't hear him speak about anything. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Oh.
Hey.
All right, cool. So now that we've heard about everybody's characters and who they're playing as, kind of want to go over a recap of what's happened over the last couple of sessions. In session 0, we kind of went over how our characters kind of came together as a group. And it basically boiled down to Ashley's character getting into some shenanigans and slowly escalating from there. After all of that kind of went down, they kind of caught the attention of a acquaintance of the Avatar, and they were asked to rescue some kidnapped children of a Fire Nation ambassador. Once that happened, I think they did some investigating. Spencer, I think you wanted to cover kind of what went down last session.
yeah. So we impressed Rangi, the Avatar Kyoshi's girlfriend, partner. So
I don't actually know if that's public.
Like,
I know that's the truth. I don't know how public that is.
she's just really good friends with the Avatar. Really
They're
good.
just like roommates.
Yeah,
They're just like roommates.
They've been roommates for 50 years.
man.
She
I wish
left everything
yeah,
in
they've
her
been
will
roommates
to
for
her.
50 years. Yeah, they go on vacation together. They're just, you know, like they're really close. They even go grocery shopping together. Yeah, they're really
I wish I
They
could have a
raised
best
such
friend like
good
Some
that.
friends.
kids together.
Yeah, they have like 3 kids. I think it's weird that kids have friends, but I mean, you know, just, you know, people who are like roommates have kids, but that's, you know. Sorry.
So at the end of like our inciting incident, basically we made an impression with Rangi, and she asked us to meet with her, and basically told us about how Ambassador Quinn's kids were the ones that were kidnapped, and said that Men Yao, basically was like, hey, we found her arrows at the scene of the crime, so we think it's her. And we all have been close friends with Men Yao for a while. Like she's been staying at Song's place, right? So we were like, no, can't be her. She's a great person. She's reformed. She's not a criminal anymore. We got to get to the bottom of this. So we went to go. Well, actually, we got into a little bit of a tussle because as I forget if this was after we talked to Rangi or not, but we got into a little bit of a tussle with some anti-corruption force people, where Ting and Kiona had to fight some people, and we won.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah,
right
we
after.
did.
It was after. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they came into the shop you guys were in and started
Start
bullying.
the place. Yeah. So then we went to the scene of the crime and we did some investigating. And Song, actually, there was this one thing we did with Song where he like remembered back to a time where he had talked to Menyao and like actually had one of her arrows. Like, hey, can I see one of these arrows? So when we went to the scene of the crime, we compared that arrow that he had with the arrows that were there, and we noticed that the wood was different. Like the wood at the scene of the crime was like bamboo. It was like flimsy. It was not good. Even though they had the same feather. And I forget what other clues we found, but we were investigating Ambassador Quinn's place to kind of find out more.
I'm trying to remember what all clues. There was like a writ of like protection from like the was it the Golden Triad is what they were
That's
called?
right. Yes.
The defunct organized crime group that Avatar Kyoshi put a stop to.
Mm-hmm.
They were a Dao Fei.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we found some notes from them last week or last time.
Yeah. And I think that was the gist of it, right? Did I leave anything out?
I think that was it, unless anybody else has anything they want to add.
I think the only thing would just be, do we want to explain who Meng Yao is?
Yeah, Ashley, why don't you explain who Meng Yao is?
Oh. She's kind of
Former
like
Dalfei.
former criminal, yeah. And she got us out of a bind when we were dealing with the anti-corruption task force. And since then, we've kind of been hanging out with her, and she's proved to be a pretty good person. She hangs out at Song's place sometimes as like a hideout, but she seems to be reformed from her ways, and it seems like we helped her do that a little bit because she saw Song sacrifice himself and lose his sight in the process in a scuffle. So it's kind of especially interesting that this ally of ours is being accused of having kidnapped these children, and it doesn't seem to fit with something she would do, but the evidence is pointing at her, except now her arrows seem to not match, so maybe they were trying to frame her.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever they is. TBD.
Very good
Find out who
explanation,
they
Ashley.
are.
So we will kind of cut to you guys kind of walking out of the scene of the crime, kind of with all of this information in hand. The one guy who was there guarding the scene of the crime, who's like half asleep, just kind of like lazily waves you off, and you guys kind of walk out. And we're playing again.
So what is around us? Like, what kind of shops and things are around us as we walk out?
So you guys are in the middle ring, which is a thing that exists, I believe. You aren't in like the lower ring, which is like where most people, like the majority of people live, and kind of like the poorer people live. This is kind of like
The
middle class.
Middle class.
Yeah, not quite like the royalty and stuff that live in the upper ring, but this is where Ambassador Quinn has her permanent residence in Ba Sing Se, and stuff. So everything you would find in kind of like a nice suburb.
Awesome. I am gonna turn to Uzari, and I'm gonna be like, buddy, but I'm like come up behind him, like gonna like grab his shoulders a little bit. I'm like, buddy, you need to loosen up. What if we go to this cabbage shop, and we write on the side of it, Fire flakes for life. Cabbage is bland. Let's go vandalize it. Come on, come on, come on. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun to also get locked up for vandalizing.
Come on. Nobody's gonna see. Nobody's gonna see.
Don't.
I know you think that fire flakes are underrated.
How is this gonna help us?
It's not.
I mean, I agree that fire flakes and spicy food is, but what is this gonna do for us?
It's gonna get you to loosen up.
No.
Now, if you told
loosen up is like dancing, Fiona. Not doing a crime.
Just a little casual
A little
stuff.
vandalism.
No. First of all, cabbages are delicious. And second of all, we need to be looking for a child, not just like drawing on carts and such.
Yeah, we can do that later.
Yeah, let's draw on carts later. And then we'll draw things like we'll say things like, song is awesome, he found a child. And we'll write that on the chart.
Yeah. Hey,
What are Uzari's principles?
restraint versus results.
I'm gonna call upon you to act on your results.
We're using the call out mechanic. All right.
by the way,
Hey, Game
is it-
Master, would you like to take a moment to explain how the call out mechanic works?
Well, Ashley, you're attempting
Or
to do it,
Ashley.
so why don't you explain it as you're kind of going through it?
by the way,
All
is
right.
it Uzuri or Uzari?
Uzuri.
I thought it was
with a U.
Uzuri. Okay.
Missouri.
Missouri.
Uzuri, sorry.
There's two U's.
Ooh.
Uzu. Like ooh.
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 Ooh. What?
Call
Do you have a last
someone
name?
out.
Do you have a last name? Does your
Taro.
character have a last name?
Taro.
Okay. You're getting called Taro because I'm not doing the uwu thing.
The song isn't a huge fan.
Yeah.
All right. When you open the call on
Songs Earth
someone,
Nation. We don't do that levity.
I will Ting will exclusively call Uzuri Uzu.
So- when you openly call on someone to live up to their principle, shift your balance away from center, then name and roll with their principle. On a hit, they are called to act as you say. They must either do it or mark a condition. On a 7 to 9, they challenge your view of the world in turn, mark 1 fatigue, or they shift your balance. On a miss, they can demand you act in accordance with one of your principles instead. So I have to shift my balance away from center, which it's currently shifted towards survival. So it has to shift over towards survival again. And then I have to roll with their principle. So what is the results?
Sorry, what do you where I
just have to
am
roll.
in my balance, or
Yes, where are you at with results, or where's your balance?
sorry, so that's where, so I am to the left currently, unless I was supposed to reset that.
Yeah, so Christian, you see how it says like the two values or whatever, the two principles, and there's the 0,
Yeah,
and then it'll go +3 to -3 away from the principle.
yeah, I'm -1 currently.
Ashley,
On
did
Minus
results?
you?
one on which one?
I'm
Results?
towards yes, because that's what we're rolling.
You're toward restraint then. So you're +1 on restraint,
Mm-hmm.
-1 on results.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ashley, did you roll?
No, I didn't.
So you have to roll first.
And Ashley, you have to roll, and you're going to be rolling with the results, which is
Which is a
currently
minus
minus
one.
1.
which is
So-
a 7. So
Which still hits.
On a 7 to 9, they challenge your view of the world in turn. Mark 1 fatigue, or they shift your balance as they choose.
Ooh, so you have to mark a fatigue, or they get to move your balance. What are your principles?
So my principles are friendship and survival, and I'm currently shifted 2 towards survival. So you can shift
Might
me
be-
how you
Do you-
see fit.
Do you think a good friend would suggest to another friend that they should go commit a crime? Do you think that's a good outlook and future for us?
Yeah.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. I was just trying to get you to loosen up.
Hey, I
am
mean,
all about
graffiti-
rebellion, but not
So
necessarily in this case.
we'll shift my balance back towards friendship then, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay.
as Azuri just blows up on Kiona. Like, what?
Yeah. I kind of sulk off because I'm sad I didn't get my friend to indulge in a bad habit with me. Believe
Good
it
for
or
you.
not, it's growth if I get you to indulge in a bad habit with
I
me.
mean, you got a hit, so they are called to act in the way you say. Right? You rolled an 8?
That's a 7.
No, rolled an 8, but there's a minus 1 from the results
It's
track
a 7.
that gets factored
That's
in.
still a
right?
7. That's still
So
a
yeah,
hit.
so both happen. So
both happen.
Okay, so both
Okay.
happen. So on a hit, they are called to act as you say. They must either do it or mark a condition. So
Huh.
maybe you do it, but then you challenge my view. You're like, a real friend wouldn't pressure me into vandalizing.
The way it
Or
was,
just be angry.
yeah, the way it was
You could be
role played
officially
is
angry.
Uzuri would probably mark being angry and challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, as opposed to actually doing it.
Yeah,
Mark a
Mhm.
Yeah.
condition.
that was how I interpreted the role play that just happened. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
So congratulations, Kiona, you succeeded in pissing off Uzuri.
I roll to be awful. Success.
Great.
No, that was fun though. I mean, but that's really part of and we haven't gotten to see this mechanic. And for our streamers that are watching right now, there's an actual mechanic that lets you kind of play with this top box on your character sheet where your balance and your conditions are. And that's yes, thank you, Spencer. And those are, it's fun to bring those in, especially as we're play testing for all of you watching. It's fun to bring these mechanics in. These mechanics are also very different from. I don't know if Monster of the Week is like this actually. You're a little bit more familiar with the what is
Haven't
it?
played
Agents
it.
of is the studio Agents of Apocalypse?
I'm
remember that
actually
studio.
not sure. But
don't know.
it seems like every Powered by the Apocalypse game, the themes of like it feels like the themes of like narrative play compared to like D&D where it's like you have health, you do this. Call of Cthulhu, you have health, you have skills. It's more of like narrative play with every Powered by the Apocalypse, but there's usually always like a twist, an additive like rule set that they add, which
Mhm.
like for example, Avatar, it's this whole balance track, right? Like other Powered by the Apocalypse have the emotions, the conditions, but not every Powered by Apocalypse has balance. Not everyone has conditions too, but like
Mhm.
Blades in the Dark, which is sort of Powered by the Apocalypse, but kind of really branched into its own thing, has that, I think back to and did this thing plan as well to it. So it really kind of all borrows different new mechanics from each other by only kind of being loosely the same. So
Nice.
Yeah.
And Christian, do you want to read what being angry does to your character? Because being angry has in-game consequences. This role-playing aspect actually has real consequences for your characters as you roll.
Yeah, so with the angry condition marked, that means that I now have -2 to guide and comfort and assess a situation. So that is both of those are basic moves, and so I will get a -2 to any rolls that I where I'm trying to do that move.
Awesome.
And then to clear that condition, Christian will have to break something important or lash out at a friend.
Uh-oh. You're probably going to get lashed out at later.
Probably.
So you guys did some investigating. You learned some stuff. You exit. Kiona was like, let's forego the investigation and do something else. Uzuri said no.
Got
Yeah.
angry.
Got angry.
How is everybody else feeling? What are they thinking about?
Ting, probably seeing this kind of situation go down, just tries to move along the conversation, just try to like not even address it, just kind of be like, so anywho, do you guys think we should go talk to those people, those people that that gang, or they probably have something to do with this, right?
All right, gang. I think we should go do that gang thing. Whatever Ting said. So I want to take what Ting said, but say it like louder and like more confidently, and act like it was my original idea.
So Sapa, instead of that, you actually know that the Golden Triad doesn't exist anymore, and they were shut down a few years ago, if you guys remember.
Right.
So you can you say, no, Ting, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, no, Ting, that's a bad idea.
Oh,
They don't exist.
The Golden Triad does not exist anymore, and I know that because I have connections to these streets. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
connections to these streets.
do you know any former members then, possibly?
Song just snorts and looks down.
Are you a former member of the Golden Triad?
Well, I was a former member of a gang affiliated with an affiliate with an affiliate, a couple layers down. You know how these things work, but
Right, yeah.
You know how these things work?
I'm trying to remember the name of one of those guys. I think his name was Long, maybe. I don't know. Dong,
Maybe, I don't know. That's an interesting name.
Bing. I think there might have been a guy named Bing, or maybe a guy named Bong. I don't.
Really?
Yeah.
Long, Bing, and Bong?
Actually, if
that's he's trying. Song is looking over at you in your general direction. You know, he can't see you exactly, so he's just kind of. But Bing and Bong. That's the stories we're going with.
Yeah.
He's nodding along, like fascinated, just like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, you're from.
I can't remember the guy.
He looks at Kiki and goes, "Those sound like real people, huh?"
Yeah.
Kiki like chitters in agreement.
I think I've also heard of Cheech and Chong being a part of that too.
Yes. That's the other gang.
Oh wait, is that the
other?
That was the Silver Quad.
Yeah, that's the Silver Quad, not the Golden Triangle.
Oh, shit.
Common mistake. Don't feel bad.
It sounds like Sapa is thinking back, and he thinks he may have had like some connections, some people who are some lower ranking members.
No, absolutely no connections. Totally pulling this out of his ass.
Okay.
I if I need to roll for this, that's fine. But I was
you should have to push your luck
and like hope that like one of them matches with.
It's like some guy.
Okay. So you might not.
Some guy.
You probably don't actually know any of these former guys, but you know where they might hang out. You know that. You know about Lung Cao's Lucky Pocket, which is like an underground like warren of like market stalls and stuff.
Okay,
it's where a lot of these guys it's where the Golden Triad used to really like
See,
control.
I've got my fingers, connected to these streets. I've got I know things.
Yep.
My fingers are on the pulse of this city. You don't even know.
That's the phrase.
So after the triad kind of like got taken down by the Avatar, like a whole bunch of different smaller groups have taken up hold there. And it's still like kind of a hotbed for these like underground like dealings and discussions and stuff. So Sapa, you know that, and you're like, oh, I know some dudes. I definitely know some dudes. Wink, nudge. We should head down that way.
Do you even know how to get there?
He knows how to get there.
Yeah.
He knows how to get there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
Why would you think that I don't know how to get there? Are you kidding me? I
Yeah,
definitely
Kiona.
have not been lying to you. I know these people. All right. There's, like I said, an affiliate of an affiliate of affiliate. It's complicated. All right. Unless you were one of these guys, you don't. All right. So.
Yeah, Kiona, Sapa's full of tons of information. We should listen to him on this. He knows the right
Okay.
way of where we're going.
Yeah. Thanks, Ting. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. Thanks, Ting. Thanks for having my back.
I give you a high
Yeah.
five.
Whatever. I'll follow along, I guess.
Okay, yeah. So you guys head down to Lung Kao's Lucky Pocket, which is an area in the lower ring. You guys have an idea of kind of like what you're going to do down there. It sounds like Sapa, you're going to use your very real existent connections to try to find some people to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use my move of here is the plan. So let's come up with a plan real quick. And if we run into an issue, I get to roll creativity and we have kind of like a contingency. It's pretty cool.
That's cool.
All right, so what are we doing? Sapa, start us off.
Yeah. Leader.
Yeah. So I think we should just go in there. Not make too big of a scene, right? We kind of come in. Let's just try to blend in a little bit.
Do I have to wear an eye patch? Do I gotta look tougher? And I puff out.
We you know what? We should put on disguises. And I actually have a move for disguises called Out of Uniform. When you put on a disguised or physically altered persona to fool the community into thinking you're two different people, roll with creativity. On a hit, people mostly unfamiliar with you won't connect your two personas. On a 7 and 9, this is the last time you can pull this trick off without them catching on. On a miss, someone misidentifies you when you switch in a way that causes more trouble for you. So we can disguise, or at least I can disguise really well. But we could do disguises. I think that's a great plan.
Yeah.
I think as long as Ting wears a hood.
Yes, Ting needs to wear a hood to hide his very obviously not
Mohawk
Nation haircut.
Yeah, his green mohawk.
What? But I love this thing. You're asking me to put my hair down? I blow it up every day.
I'm asking you to put a hood over it.
Ah. Ting is unenthused.
Yeah.
Zuri,
All right.
you need to change out of the Fire Nation garb. You're gonna stick out like a sore thumb down there.
We got anything else for me?
Yeah, look, there's stalls all over the place. This is the problem. We need to find garb that looks like not the
Just
triad
regular
clothes.
Earth Nation.
Oh, do we just need regular Earth Nation clothes?
I mean, yeah, it's
Probably.
like
That's what most people wear down there, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I thought we needed like Dao Fei clothes or something like that.
So no, not really. Like the Dao Fei is just like the word for organized crime. It's not like a uniform or a culture.
Yeah, I know, but it's also the Earth Kingdom, and
Yeah.
they're big on uniforms.
Should we pretend to be a different gang, a new gang, and all the same
Silver
uniform?
Quad.
The Silver Quad.
We should be the silver. Yeah.
But there's five
of us. The Copper Prince.
The Copper Quits.
No. You go by the Silver Quad, but that's because you're
No,
trying
the
to.
Silver Stars, dude.
It's a secret. There's the
points on the
secret
star.
fifth member that nobody knows about.
I think
I love it.
part of the bit is that we all say a different name. Gang.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all a metal and a number that doesn't quite match.
Like, no, we're the copper pentagram. All right. Like, That's the best name by far.
Oh yeah, we're the Titanium Octos.
Uzuri just like does
Hey,
not
not even
care.
alliteration on that one. We're the Titanium Octo.
Octos. What about Zuri?
Uzuri does not even care about a name and just says like whatever.
Okay.
We're-
All right, well, Zuri, we need to get you some. We need to get you some not black and red clothes.
Yeah, so we got to get uniforms.
And what's with the chess piece has gotta. He's feeling around. What is this? This is armor. This has got to come off. This is cool. Feels awesome, but it's got to come off. This is not.
I mean, he could wear a cloak over it.
You're a little bit.
No, what? It'd be like 4 feet out this way. That's gonna no.
I understand the
gonna work.
distance for you is maybe still a little bit hard to gauge. But personal bubble.
Personal.
Like this big on you. What you talking about?
Fine. I think we'd look less conspicuous.
You padded
anyway.
up like a rock ball player, man. No, they're gonna notice that.
So we have to come up with this plan. So our plan is to go get disguises.
Yeah.
And then go to this underground market. And then what do we do when we get there?
Yes.
We blend in. All right. We don't come in and make a scene. We just come in. We try to, like work our way through the crowd and see if we can hear anything, or, you guys just try to pick up and absorb and sponge as much information as you can, while I go try to find and talk around to my contacts.
Yeah. Maybe somebody's seen Men Yao.
Oh, I got the big sun hats for everybody. The chin strap on the bottom. But
Do we need to roll? Dan, does your disguise move has a roll? Is that like a roll?
yeah, you have to roll for you have to roll creativity now, right, Dan?
Yeah, I do.
Is that GM? Are we doing this properly?
I think so. And so, like, you guys are going to this market area. You're posing as a new up and coming Daofei group.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what Sapa is doing is he's rolling to see if anybody actually recognizes you guys as yourselves, or if they believe that you are this like new group of dudes.
Okay, so I hit. It says on the 7 to 9, this is the last time you can pull this trick off. You can pull this trick without them catching on. So
can I mark a fatigue to help him because I got the hats?
Yeah,
And
sure.
it says you can do it after the roll.
Yeah, and you can bump.
So
You got
mark
you got a
fatigue.
10, Dan.
nice.
So we can be the silver quads.
Yeah. So now when you guys are, we'll say while you're exploring this area, nobody will really recognize you as like Tang and Kiona and Sapa. They will believe your personas, that you're a new Daofei group trying to, I don't know, get started and make a name for yourselves.
Claim a corner, a
Mhm.
ring.
So yeah, you guys head down there. You guys all have your false identities and disguises. You kind of go down. You're looking around, and you kind of see what you were expecting. See if I can find a description. So when you get down there, you see like some individual like anti-corruption task force people. They like to make regular stops here, but the warren of underground market stalls makes it difficult for them to single out any bit of like organized crime. It's become a great spot for clandestine meetings, under the table deals, and other illicit businesses, all beneath the notice of the task force's watchful eyes. So at first glance, you just see normal stuff going on. It seems like a bunch of like normal market stalls, people selling food, people selling like little like bits and bobs, same thing you would expect to see at any market. But if you look a little bit closer, sometimes you see maybe somebody gets like ushered back behind a stall, maybe somebody whispers a code word. maybe you notice some of these goods at these stalls, like maybe they're being fenced or something.
Mhm,
Just like
mhm.
slightly under the table deals going on. You guys are here. You're kind of like trying to get your bearings. And what exactly are each of you trying to accomplish here? Sounds like some of you are kind of like listening in, trying to just like
Can
catch
I
any bit of information.
assess the situation?
Yeah.
I would roll with a creativity, and I can ask a question or two questions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do it. So I get a +1 to creativity. I missed. It doesn't look like there's a consequence to a miss. So basically, I tried to assess the situation. I got nothing. I came up blank. I'm like, I don't even know if
Look
they're money
around, you just
laundering
see
here or
a
not.
market full of people.
Yeah, it doesn't even look illicit to me.
Mm-hmm.
I have no leads. But for reference, for those at home, to assess the situation, you will roll with creativity, and then there are different questions that you can ask about the situation. So, what here can I use to blank? Who or what is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's my best way out, in, or through? Or who or what is the greatest danger? So I probably would have been asking like, what should I be on the lookout for if I had hit it. So
You said you had a +1 to creativity?
The
yeah.
thing she rolled, well, huh.
Well,
doesn't-
it
No,
says
that should include because you clicked on the creativity.
I did.
The formula
Yeah,
has
that
you at a
should
+0
include.
though.
It doesn't add. It's not adding. It just has the 2 3s for the 2d6s. It doesn't. It hasn't added it.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, it didn't.
That's
roll
why
a
I'm confused.
2d6 plus
So it
0.
would be a 7, and then that would be relevant.
I mean, I'm looking
That's
at
interesting.
Ashley, I'm looking at your character sheet, and you have a 0 for creativity.
So I guess was the
Oh, okay.
+1, is that the base? Is the +1 the base? And then I
Oh, that little
must
number
have
to the
taken a
right-hand side.
-1. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
It's
so
just-
if you're looking at the little tiny grayed out number, that is what the playbook's initial thing is.
I see.
And then it looks like for some reason you have filled out a 0. So you have initially started with +1 creativity, but something has happened to your
And
character
I
that
have
gives them -1 to have a thing
Uh-huh.
of 0. I don't know.
yeah. Weird. I must have done that in character creation at some point. But cool. So I don't get to ask any of those questions. So that was anticlimactic. What's everybody else doing?
I'm gonna be going around like trying to specifically see if anyone knows anything. Some jobs recently involving some kids,
Okay.
like the Ambassador Quinn's kids.
Yeah. Are you just like going up to random people and asking?
I mean,
Excuse me, sir. Do you know about the kidnapping?
do I like look around and like see like, I mean, are there any like stalls or anything, like any merchants around, any
There's-
kind of like,
Plenty of stalls and merchants.
okay, I pick one that looks like, I don't know, is there one that like looks like particularly shady or particularly like they would be divulging of information, or I guess I just pick a random one. I don't know.
Let's see here. You're the pillar. Is there anything on your character sheet that might help you out? Or
Let's see, fighting like dancing out of uniform. No, there is nothing.
all right, so you pick one at random. You just go up to a stall, and you kind of like
This is the way to do it.
You just kind of like saddle up. You start eyeing their wares. It looks like this place is selling some gemstones. We'll say like some gemstones, like precious like rocks,
Mhm.
fancy rocks and stuff. That sounds very Earth King to me.
Yeah.
And he's like, what?
Uh,
The market stall owner sees you looking around. He's like, see anything that catches your eye?
Oh, they're all very eye catching. You know, they're all eye catching. Just looking around. Hey, had a question. This might seem pretty random, but looking around for some kids. Look, man, I totally screwed up. I got paid to be a bodyguard for some kids. It's first job, never done this shit before, and they up and ran off. I don't know where they're at. Have you seen like two little kids running around dressed in red?
Kids dressed in red, you say?
Red, yeah. I think they're dressed in red.
Why don't you roll?
They would be dressed in red,
Yeah.
right?
Why don't you roll
Fire agent.
a trick roll, since you're kind of like
Trying to persuade them.
yeah, like you're trying to
Alright,
say that
what-
like you lost these kids, you're looking for these kids.
Right.
He's not
What does trick roll with? Does that roll with
when you
harmony?
Oh, here we go. I'm going to put it right in the Discord right there.
Creativity.
Or, in the
Creativity,
so you
nice.
roll.
I got +1. All right. 2d6 + 1. Beep bop.
Beep boop bop.
I got a 7.
yeah, on a 7, they kind of like fall for it. They're kind of like, they believe you that you're just like a bodyguard that screwed up, and you're
Yeah.
trying to make right.
Yeah.
So you can kind of pick one of those 3 options.
They act foolishly.
Okay. The GM tells you, they give you like an additional opportunity. Okay. So this guy's like, oh, I don't know anything about no kids. That's not my business. Look, I mean, you can see like this shit I'm selling is gold. That's pyrite, but I don't deal with any kids, kidnapping, anything like that. That's monstrous. If you're looking for something like that, I mean, there's some mercenary groups out there that deal with some pretty dangerous stuff, but I got no part in that. I got no part in any of that.
Have you seen one of these they find him?
I got nothing to do with it. I got nothing to do with it. I mean, if you're looking, and I'm just keep this low key, like just, and he like leans in.
Don't worry. I don't even know. Right? They're gonna say, "Who sent you?" And I'm gonna be like, I have no idea. I have no idea who the guy is.
Right. We haven't even given each other's names yet, so we don't. There's no way to come back to me. But you might want to look out for
plausible deniability.
Look out for go find the Fanged Mercenaries.
Okay. The Fanged Mercenaries. Where might I find the Fanged Mercenaries?
That's all you're getting out of me, buddy. You get a
That's
name.
You should go talk to Song.
Okay, I'm gonna go talk to Song. I'll see you later. Bye. Thank you for the
Song?
assistance.
He's like, you both.
Song.
And but by the way, I said all of the stuff is eye catching. This is all very much clearly pyrite. Anyone in Bossing Say will know this is pyrite. And yeah. Have a good day.
Hey, maybe I'm not trying to
No, I don't hear
like,
anything.
There's tourists that come through here. I'm trying to catch them.
I heard
don't question my business.
I heard none of that.
Oh, by the way, I still need to roll for creativity for our here's the plan thing. So I'm gonna do that real quick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hit.
So we instead of 1, we get 2.
Ooh.
I get two things that help me carry out or evade an obstacle or create an advantage or neutralize a danger. Or okay. And you guys can't like ditch me while we're doing this. That's like part of the rule. Don't do that.
Yeah, it's like a
Stick
resource.
together, you guys.
It's like a resource that's like
together.
part of your playbook, right? You can build up these stacks of things, and so now you have 2 little doodads that let you ignore a setback.
Yep, or create a helpful advantage in a situation. Got 2 aces up my sleeve.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, Sapa gets back to song. Oh,
Yep.
Golden Fangs.
Fanged
Yeah,
Mercenaries.
The Fanged Mercenaries.
The Fanged Mercenaries. Yeah, we heard of them. I think we found that when we were talking to the Sergeant at Arms for the ambassador and chief security officer, and they got to they're over in this part, I think, of the I think I would know where that would be, because I've lived in Ba Sing Se for some time now,
Yeah, let me check.
cleaning up my neighborhood.
I also might have a move to do after that too.
Let's see your song. What kind of knowledge are you calling on to like get where they are?
So like, how I've been trying to clean up my neighborhood in the lower district.
Yeah.
The fanged the
Fanged Mercenary.
The Fanged Mercenaries, like, I probably would have heard of them. They're not as prevalent as maybe some of the other Dao Fei groups, but if they're as bad as that, I'd know who they were.
I think so. So the Fanged Mercenaries, kind of like from what you've heard, are kind of like a new upstart organization being led by a couple of former Golden Triad. They're kind of like hired guns for other Dao Fei. Like they don't necessarily like make their own plans or do their own thing, but they kind of act as muscle for other people.
Didn't the guard recap us on this? Didn't we talk to him about this?
I think Ton might have mentioned this too. He might have like said something about them. You've heard some stuff go down around the Wood Frog Lumberyard, and that might be a way to find them. There might be some people around there.
Okay. Do you know how they dress? Do we know how they dress?
They don't really have uniforms.
Okay, cool.
You've heard the names Hana and Lei Fang in association with the Fanged Mercenaries.
Hana and Lei Fang. Okay. As like leaders?
Not really sure.
Captains or something? Okay. Cool. I relay all that information to, I don't know, is the whole group there? Certainly Sapa, but
up to everybody else. Where
is everybody?
Sapa, you went up to this stall. Anybody else do anything kind of like over the next little bit of time?
Yes. I like to think that Ting originally was going to go up and start like trying to ask questions about if anybody's seen Men Yao anywhere, if they've seen her around and stuff. But I have a move called Whatever I Can, and unfortunately I'm just gonna paste the text because it wouldn't let me just like click in stuff. But basically this is one of my playbook moves, and it's called Whatever I Can. When I spend time talking to locals about their problems, I roll with harmony. On a hit, I hear about the most significant and serious problems on hand. GM will tell me who it affects and what it causes. 10+, you can ask a follow-up question about the problem or cause. And you take 1+ ongoing when you act on the answer. On a miss, you wind up creating a whole new problem in your questions and ideas.
Do you just get like a +1 to everything you do while you're following up on this issue?
That's what it sounds like.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
So that's only on a 10+, I believe.
That's still, I mean,
yeah, still cool. But basically, like, I like to think that like Tang goes up and starts to try to question about Men Yao, but then just ends up like talking like one of these guys' ears off about like what's been troubling you, guy. Like he goes up and he goes, "Hey, I'm Ding of the Diamond Duo. And obviously we're a new gang in town, and well, I have some questions for you."
The guy, you see like some pity come over his face. He's like, oh, he sees this kid talking about how he's like some new gang.
Right.
And he's like, yeah,
buddy.
yeah, kid, and just kind of like a little bit of like, sure, I'll go along with this. Why not? Maybe I can steer him away.
Should I roll my harmony now?
Sure. Yeah, you're kind of talking to him about what.
If anybody wants to help me out. Wait, are they able to help me on this?
I don't think they're really able, because you said you went off and were doing this.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Oh, you went off by yourself? Split the party, Spencer.
I didn't mean to, but yeah, I kind of am.
So you're talking to this guy, and he's like, oh, yeah, you do seem pretty new in town. You were asking about ways you could help out, like what's going on?
What's going on with you, bud? What's going on in down here? You know, like I've been out on the streets doing all my crime work, so I want to catch up on the news. You know, he specifically lowers his voice to try to sound tough.
I mean, the crackdown from the Anti-Corruption Task Force has been pretty bad recently with the kidnapping and everything.
Oh yeah.
If you could scare some of them off, I'm sure that people would be really thankful.
Oh, that's no problem. I've already roughed up a few of them guys, so yeah, I'll go rough up a few more.
Sure, yeah, I'm sure you have.
I'll take care of it. No problem. What's your name, by the way? I'm Ding.
I'm Dong.
Dong, pleasure to meet you. I'll be back to check up on you, my good pal Dong.
Hey, if you manage to scare off some of those dudes, I got a bowl of noodles for you. I get guaranteed half price.
That sounds delicious. Yeah, sounds great, buddy. And I pat him on the back. I leave.
You like reach up to pat him on the back.
Hey guys, I think I'm gonna get some noodles.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Good job.
I guess while all this is happening, I'm kind of following behind Uzuri, and I'm like, buddy, I'm sorry. I really was just trying to get you to loosen up, and I'd like to try to guide and comfort Uzuri. So am I okay to try to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Game Master. So to guide and comfort, I roll with harmony, which is not good. I have a -1 to it.
Oh, you get it.
Holy shit, I hit. That's surprising. On a hit, they choose one. So this is gonna be up to Uzuri. They can either embrace my guidance and comfort, they may clear a condition or 2 fatigue, and I may ask 1 question of them and they must answer honestly, or they can shut me down. They can inflict a condition on me and shift my balance in response. So it's really up to Christian on how Uzuri wants to proceed, if they want to kind of accept my apology for trying to push him into doing something he wasn't comfortable with or not. Hi, Shelly. Hi, Emily.
Yeah, Ashley says hi.
Hey.
We're on live. That's my mother-in-law, everyone. Thank you.
So I do have before I make this decision, sorry. So remind me again what is considered my principles.
The two things on your balance track.
The
Those are
restraint and
my
results.
principles. So yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Mark in your highest principle. Yeah, I guess what is considered my highest principle? Where
What
my
are you-
balance is shifted to?
Yeah, you can kind
Or-
of see on your balance track as it moves across. There's like +1s and -1s, so it's probably whichever one has the highest plus number.
Okay.
And if you're
Got
at zeros,
Sorry.
it's probably your choice.
Okay. Cool. Okay, cool. I'm or so Uzuri has had some time to cool off, and I accept this guidance, this comfort.
Awesome.
Um
So you can clear your condition of anger
I'm gonna clear
or
my
to fatigue if you're fatigued.
I'm gonna clear fatigue and call it a day. I'm still
Stay
Stay
angry.
angry at me?
I'm still a little angry.
Damn it! So I can ask you one question. So
Fine.
I
I forgive you. But yeah.
So I am gonna ask Uzuri why they aren't really
Choose your words
hanging
carefully.
around with their boss as much anymore, and why they're kind of running around with us.
Well, when my mother passed away,
That's dead mom.
Trauma dump incoming.
yeah, trauma dump.
After my mother was murdered before me and I was abandoned, left as an orphan in the
Yeah.
cold, raised by wolves.
They didn't
Breathing wolves.
The Fire
Every
Nation
night,
didn't
Darth
realize I
Maul's
was
killed by the
watching,
Fire
but
Nation.
I was. I saw
Every
the
night, the
murder.
meanest wolf of the pack would kick over
Das
my field.
Flammenwolf.
No,
Because this part of the Fire Nation is German.
jeez.
All right.
Is that the parallel that's typically made here, or?
No. Not until the 100-Year War.
Well, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So, after my father or my mother passed away, I reflected back on the strict upbringing, and this sense of superiority that as a Fire Nation we've always had, and it didn't make sense. It was rough, and as I don't want that for the rest of my life. I don't want that for any kids or family I may have in the future. While I tend to be rebellious and all that, that is something that I see to find. I seek to find, and I hope to find nobility in what I'm doing here.
I give Uzuri a hug and I say thanks for being honest with me.
Uh-huh.
And
He's already not much of a hugger. So he was like, oh, okay.
I'm still a little angry at you. Can you stop touching me?
And with that, everybody's kind of like described what they were up to, exploring this little area. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, everybody's going to regroup and kind of discuss, or not discuss, They're little side moments. All right. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes, everybody. Peace.
See you soon.
Back in. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. The group has just done some investigating in a seedy little underground area. Everybody had their own little adventures, and they're all kind of regrouping with each other and kind of going over what they've heard and maybe some next steps. So you guys have kind of reconvened in the middle of somewhere off to the side of the market outside of an alleyway. And you guys are kind of talking about what you all just did.
Yeah, so guys, if we defeat more of the anti-corruption task force, that guy over there is going to get me a bowl of noodles.
Well, I hope it's
For defeating the entire
noodles.
anti-corruption task force, he's going to give you one bowl of noodles.
I don't know if it was everyone. The number was like not specific, but yeah.
I don't think
Or
that's
no,
fair.
I grab
Ting.
Papa
Oh,
and
stop.
I go, don't let him negotiate anything ever again. Air nomads do not understand money.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
is-
okay though, Ting. We love you. Where are you? Give me a hug. Come
I'm right here.
Come
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we bring
All right.
can we bring like the biggest bowl in the world? He didn't specify
Maybe.
the size of the bowl, so
I feel like we're
feel
getting
like-
hung up on the noodles here. Wait, where's
Yeah, we are getting
where's Zuri?
You kind of look over your shoulder and you see Kiona awkwardly hugging Uzuri.
Well, no, he doesn't.
okay. So that's
Everybody
weird.
else does, but Song doesn't.
He senses it.
Song, no. That's
This is
weird.
how awkward.
Yeah, I just sitting there doing my tremor sensing. That's weird. Yeah, and Zuri are standing really close to each other.
Yeah.
Wonder why
Yeah.
that's happening. Anyway,
Look, you can
All right.
sense that Zuri's uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
can I don't know if my tremor sense is that good. If I can if I can sense feelings.
You're like classic anime, like squeezing me to death. I've got like sweat and like just eyes bulging, like
Oh hey, so did you get? We're gonna go to this lumber yard. It's where these Fang mercenaries are hanging out. And there's actually, did anybody hear anything about the names Li Fang or Haka?
Hana.
Hana.
But
Hana.
no,
No.
Okay.
I heard nothing. It was a normal market.
Okay. All right. Well, then I think we should just kind of stay in our disguises and head over to the lumber mill and check that out and see if we can, I don't know, hear the muffled screams of some children through walls or something like that.
Hey, you've got like the seismic sensing stuff.
It doesn't really work like that. I think you guys misunderstand like how
sound waves. And
Yeah, you can just hear stuff.
I mean, it's like
right?
I can hear where you're going, and I can tell it's you by the way you're walking. But it's also hard to do in the city because there's all the there's the
Things
cars that go by and they do all the scraping. So I'm
I don't
flying
think they have
blind right
cars
now.
yet.
Carts?
No, they have the little the subway system thingy.
Oh,
Did
that's
they
right.
though when Kiyoshi was around?
I mean,
Probably.
like,
I don't think like you need new technology
It's-
to build that.
you just
There's
earthed
not
it.
there's not as many of them. They only go it's like main routes.
get a lore check.
You know.
Yeah.
Is that legal?
I don't know. That's how it was in my province. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
That's how it was in my neighborhood.
No. I can't speak to that at all. So as we kind of approach, I would like to take Ting by the side and speak with Ting. Can I speak with you for a moment?
Yeah, sure. What's up, Uzuri? Do you want to share the noodles when I get them?
Sure. Yeah. I'm sure we'll definitely get them.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble, and I feel like you're just so freaking positive all the time.
Oh,
and
thanks, man.
I'm I'm worried that my past won't ever, and those things that I've clung on to, this baggage that I have with my past and the empire, this anger will never go away, and
Yeah.
it's always just constantly billowing and building inside of me, and I'm just afraid that I can't control it.
Yeah.
Can do you have any advice for me?
Well, I, if I'm going to be honest, I didn't. I left the air temple because I made a mistake, and I held on to that mistake for a while. And to be honest, I didn't really get over it until I met a traveling nomad. She Her name was Jin Jade, and she really helps me through that. I you sometimes when you make mistakes, it's because you didn't know any better. And what you can do is, you can't change what happened, but you can always kind of just forgive yourself, move on, and try to do better. I try to help out everyone that I can now, just because I didn't before. So if you're holding on to your past, I guess, what I do is I just try to learn from it and try to not make the same mistakes again.
Okay, be better.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Ting.
Did that help?
It did. All right, so I am going to roll with restraint.
Oh,
And that is
is this?
I love the phrasing on that, by the way. That was the best phrasing. I'm going to roll with restraint.
Great.
Like, you got the die here, and you're like,
so I guess I don't think there's a button I can click for just rolling on restraint here unless I'm missing it.
No, I think you have to roll just
So,
2d6 and then
Yeah,
whatever
you
your
add
balance.
whatever your modifier
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
that is what I'm going to do. One.
Is this part of the
What are you
lodestar
rolling?
stuff?
Woohoo!
Or-
I am rolling for my since Ting is my lodestar. So since I consulted Ting as my lodestar for advice on a problem, I roll with restraint, and then on a 10 plus, which I got a 10, I take all three options actually. So the first option is you see the wisdom of their advice. So Uzuri truly does see their advice. He might not rephrase that in the best way possible, but he does see that he can be better. He can do better and learn from his past. So, so Ting shifts my balance, follow their advice, and they shift your balance again. So I'm assuming you get to choose how I shift my balance. So
you're towards restraint right now.
Yeah.
I'll probably move it to the center, so you're +0 if you're cool with that.
Sure. Yeah.
And the result is just like me, maybe like how I phrase it is like, yeah, you gotta just change the future. You gotta go for it and do stuff instead of holding back type deal, I think.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
The second one is the conversation bolsters you, clear condition or too fatigue. So I am no longer angry because of our talk. So thank you, Ting.
Yeah.
And the
It's all
third is, I'm sorry?
Oh, I said it was all planned.
Yeah. The third is they feel at ease offering their opinion. They clear a condition of their own or too fatigue of their own.
Oh.
Is that me?
Yes, that was
Yeah,
you.
that's super cool.
I had one fatigue from last week, and now it's gone.
Great. And that is just one part of the lodestar. There are other parts that for shifting the balance or somebody calling me out if they're my lodestar and so on and so forth. But we'll get into that when it's relevant.
That's
Awesome.
super cool.
That is cool. I'm glad you got a 10.
Yeah, that was lucky.
So if you got like a 7 to 9, would you just pick one of those?
On a 7 and 9, they choose 2 of them.
Oh, they choose for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, maybe that happened like on your guys' way to the lumber yard.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact: I was doing some reading. The monorail did exist at this time, because this lumber yard specifically was shut down because it got redlined during the construction of the monorail.
Okay,
Nice.
I
That's
stand
hilarious.
corrected.
Thank you for the lore
so,
check.
Yeah, so the Wood Frog Lumber Yard, any locals would know this. It used to be a small wood cutting operation on the south side of the lower ring. Location made it really convenient for locals to pick up like planks, commission wagons, that sort of stuff. But when construction on the monorail started, the lumberyard lost their bid to have the monorail relocated a mile west to preserve their operation. Earth Kingdom officials viewed the loss of a single lumberyard as far less disruptive than the loss of an entire neighborhood. Additionally, a competitor on the west side of the ring, being a larger operation, was able to provide a large bribe to put the Wood Frog out of business. There's kind of like when you get there, there's like a low stone barricade around the site and posted signs warning trespassers to kind of stay away.
Guys,
Well,
I'm so
can't
excited.
see that.
This is a bad habit that I get to indulge in with my friends. It's
Oh.
trespassing. We get to trespass together.
Nothing like that really
Well-
ties your friendship together, like trespass.
You did say you wanted to do some crime, right? So here we go. You just had to wait. You
Yes.
just have to wait.
All right, guys. You got to follow my lead while we're trespassing in here. We don't want to get caught. You know that corruption task force, they're not too nice. So, I get to shift my balance towards friendship and roll with friendship. Except that's still going to be like a -1, which is sad. So hopefully someone can help me.
I'll help you. I don't know. What are we doing? We're sneaking?
We're sneaking into the lumber mill.
Okay, cool. I'm going to use my seismic sensing to see if there's like big groups or other people coming so we don't run into anybody as we sneak in. It won't work, obviously, on like second stories and stuff like that, because that's not how I feel like this works. Like if we're on wood, I don't know how to. I can't feel you.
Yeah, like if it was a stone structure, maybe, but if it's like a wooden structure.
Yeah, maybe a stone structure, but yeah, you have to be like connected to the earth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm barefoot for this to work too, so I never wear shoes.
Shoes are overrated.
My feet are a mess.
God,
And like this is new too. Like you haven't built up the calluses yet.
No. I'm like, it's like pretty bad.
You will have hobbit feet.
So yeah, you guys get to this defunct lumberyard. You see the little wall and the signs telling you stay out. Kiona's like, "Oh guys, this is my area. I know how to sneak in places."
It's her jam.
It didn't go well.
So was that a kind of rely on your skills and training role then?
Well, I was doing the indulge a bad habit with a friend. I guess, do I have to roll to get in to the lumberyard without getting caught? Because that's what I was trying to do.
So what are the rules for that? Like indulge a bad habit with a friend? What does that say?
When you indulge a bad habit with a friend, shift your balance toward friendship and roll with friendship. On a hit, you and your friend pull it off and grow closer. Each of you makes the other inspired. On a 10 plus, you also obtain some useful resource or information and become prepared. But on a miss, something goes terribly awry. You can either take the heat yourself or shift your balance twice towards survival and leave your friend in the lurch.
Oh man, high
Ashley-
risk, high reward.
Ashley, what'd you hit? Let me see if I have
3.
anything.
I
There's
rolled a 3.
yeah. So,
Okay,
okay.
well,
There's
nothing
no salvaging it.
So you tell everybody, you're kind of like just like lay low, follow my lead, we can get in here. But as soon as you take like a single step in, you step on like an errant rake and it does the comedy thing where it flips up, hits you in the face, and you let out like a little loud yell, and you hear what was that noise come from deeper in the lumberyard.
Yep.
You can either now so you kind of have the choice, Kiona,
Mm-hmm.
to maybe run up and kind of like head this off and like run into where you heard the noise from and kind of take the flak for yourself and kind of try to talk your way out of the situation, or kind of like remain quiet and let the situation play out how it would play out, I think is how I would read your move, right?
Okay.
I think so.
What are you gonna do?
I'll take the heat myself. So I'll run in and I'll be like, guys, get down, get down, get down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll run up.
Okay. So you tell everybody to hide, and like I'll figure something out. I'll figure something out. And you see a couple of goons approach.
Oh, can Kiki follow her?
That's your little
Yeah.
companion, right?
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. Like boom. So he's on your shoulder now. He like flies over.
Oh, cool.
You have my little helper.
What are we hiding behind?
I don't know. I just actually I lay down just flat on the grass.
Yeah, I mean
I hidden, guys?
it's an abandoned lumberyard. There's piles of wood, there's tools, there's little
Yeah.
structures.
Right.
There's plenty of places for you to hide.
Ash, I was behind Ash. I was like holding on to Ashley, and she like ran off, and I'm like,
Where do I go?
Yeah, I just kind of like get down.
I'm actually going to reveal something.
Mm-hmm.
So do we have like a structure of like wood that's like stacked upon each other and such?
I would say so. That could probably exist.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming I'm hiding behind that. I sabotage this pile of wood.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to. So this was a victory move. We'll see if it's actually a victory. I'm marked for fatigue, and I roll with passion, which is a hit. So it says your work pays off, creating an opportunity for you and your allies at just the right time. On a 7 and 9, the opportunity is fleeting. Act fast to stay ahead of the consequences. And then it says on a miss, so on and so forth. So I'm trying to create an opportunity here, seeing that she kind of runs off into all these goons. What that means, you can decide.
Okay. So Kiona, you told everybody to get down and hide, and you see some of the some people who are around here kind of approach and come around from a corner to kind of like investigate what was going on. But as that happens, as you run in, you're about to like announce yourself. Uzuri collapses a big structure that he was hiding behind. And before the guards notice you, they go to run where the structure collapsed.
Yeah. So I guess when that happens, I'll just kind of dive behind a different structure and be like, I don't know what to do now.
Okay.
I mean, I won't say that, but I'll hide now.
Yeah. So now everybody's hidden. The two people who were there kind of like they look around. They're like video game NPCs. The little red flashing exclamation point fades, and then they go return to their business. They kind of like investigate where the rake was. They see the collapsed structure, and they're kind of like, oh, I don't know. That could have.
This is just a decrepit lumberyard.
Yeah, it's a decrepit lumberyard. It probably just fell over, man. And they're like, yeah, that's probably what it was. Let's go back. Nothing really to see here. I don't think we need to tell Lei Fang about this or anything. And they return to where they were at.
I will sneak back over to my companions with my tail between my legs because I massively failed. But I am going to relay that I overheard them saying that they're working for Lei Fang. Like, we got the right place, guys. And I'm sorry that I bit off more than I can chew.
That's okay. Sneaking around's hard.
No, it's not okay. Kiona, and I'm using my connection where I get mad whenever you just rush in and do stuff. Kiona, you need to think about the whole group when you just go and do all this stuff. We could have got caught, and then maybe the kids are in there and they just like took them off somewhere, huh?
You're right. I'm sorry. I was just so excited that you guys were gonna go trespassing with me.
Okay,
Well,
Kiona,
that's
it's
fair.
okay to do.
That's
We got to do smart crime. Okay. When we do the crime, we have to be really smart about it.
Remember,
I was
kids,
really trying. I
not
was just
illegal if you don't get caught.
That we don't endorse that. The ABCs of RPGs does not endorse
Nope.
that.
That is.
No, that was Sapa
That is-
talking. Sapa said.
That was we are a satirical program. Sometimes things get said, but we do not endorse that view.
Yeah,
No, it is the
tabletop
official
RPGs allow you
stance
to.
of this stream that the law does not define morality.
yeah, the government's overrated.
Tabletop RPGs let you
No.
imagine being a criminal like this. It's all
Yeah,
make
it's a
pretend.
fantasy. No one would do this or endorses doing this.
We're talking about a magic.
Anyway, moving on with our not doing
Crimes.
crime in real life game. Stay in school, kids.
School's lame.
School's awesome.
So Ting,
Um,
you just lectured Kiona on rushing in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. Ting's
Um,
upset.
What next? You guys tried to sneak in. You caused a little bit of a disruption and kind of had to retreat a little bit. You heard that Lei Fang is here, whose song is heard mentioned with the Fanged Mercenaries. You know that the Fanged Mercenaries are known to be like hired guns, like hired muscle for other groups, and you know that they may have been involved in the kidnapping of Ambassador Quinn's children. A couple different approaches you could take here. You could kind of like try to get their attention and like maybe go in thinking like you're about to hire them. You guys were in that kind of like disguise where you're like a new group trying to make a name for yourselves. You could run
We could do
in,
that.
try to with
Yeah.
like fists raised, ready to fight, and maybe like try to capture one or two of them to like ask them questions, see if they know something. Maybe you could like sneak around, try again, come back in, sneak around, and try to like overhear some information, listen in on some stuff. Up to you guys.
We could sneak around and then go in, like we're trying to hire them.
Is there any,
Case the place, and then get a formal tour.
Yeah.
is there any form of like high ground around?
Oh, I have the high ground now.
Yeah, there's probably like where like a foreman would stand so he can like watch the work being done. I mean, it's probably like old and might fall over at any moment, but there's probably something you could climb to get a higher view of the thing.
I want to go up there.
Okay, you go up there.
Sweet. Am I able to shoot the guys from up there?
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Okay.
you could it might not like hurt meaningfully, but
Do I have observation hockey? Kidding. Kidding.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, so before I go, I guess before I climb up there, right? I
Oh,
think we
I'll
should
just earthbend a ramp so you can just get up easy.
Well,
Like-
I was gonna suggest that song, we do a here's the plan.
Oh, I don't know how
And
much I can stack up on that.
how
I
much-
have 2. I guess that plan is over, but we are coming up with a new plan. Everybody's on board. I mean, I don't know if that sort of thing expires.
I can find the
I guess I thought it was just relevant to the situation in which you had the plan for, and the plan was for when we were back at the other thing.
That's what
So I think
figured.
we'd have to make a
Oh.
new plan.
Yeah.
I kind of thought of it like, I mean, when I get the tokens, it's like I have a bag. I have a bag of goodies, like a Mary Poppins bag kind of thing.
you're the pillar, Justin. Song is the pillar, or no, the bolt.
The bold, yeah, and here's the plan. It really doesn't kind of get any more specific, so I was just going to defer to what you thought the case should be as the game master.
When you commit to a plan you've proposed to the group, roll with creativity. Take a -1 for each of your companions who isn't on board. On a 10 plus, hold 2. On a 7 to 9, hold 1. You can spend your hold 1 for 1 while the plan is being carried out to overcome or evade an obstacle. Yeah, I think that too applied to the previous, like, go around the lucky pocket area.
Cool.
And you are now proposing a new plan for a new thing.
That makes sense to me. Cool. Yes. All right. So we're putting together this new plan.
Um,
Ooh,
Oh shit!
nice.
bam. So we got 2 aces up our sleeves.
So what is
Um,
this plan?
So I'm gonna create a little bridge for for Tapa to get up and take a look from the high ground, and then we're gonna do a perimeter walk. Well, maybe not me, but do a perimeter walk. I'm gonna send my lizard parrot to fly around maybe from like part to part of the facility where it can, like outside to see if it can, like, maybe hear the kids or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like kind of what I'll be doing is doing the Kiki stuff right now. And then we can meet back kind of at the very beginning of this camp if we don't find anything, and then we'll say we're looking to recruit some muscle, and then if we'll act like it's too expensive and then leave.
Okay.
That's fair.
So Sapa and Song's parrot are going on recon.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. Is anybody else like sneaky? Good at sneaking?
I mean, I'm a rogue, but I don't have anything. I guess I could like
I mean, Keanu,
You could rely on your skills and
rely
training
on
as
my
like
skills and training.
for some cat burglaring.
I think that worked as a
when you
rogue.
burgle. You've done some burgles.
could probably do recon with me then, or should she go try to find the kids?
Isn't that what we're trying to do while we're like looking around?
I thought
the
that's what the
lumberyard?
whole recon was to like
Yeah,
scope
find the
it out.
kids.
See if we
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I was thinking recon is.
Yeah, I
So
can go
And
Got
then
it.
if not, we can at least learn like how many of the fangs there are, and maybe overhear something while we're inside.
Well, Well,
We could ask about what if we need kidnappings done,
to be
what they're willing to do.
if we're trying to come up and be like, hey, we're this tough gang, we're looking to hire someone maybe or whatever. I feel like we might need to look the part almost. I feel like my character looks a little bit tougher, a little bit more grizzled. Maybe I should, like, if we're having someone talk to the mercenary, I think maybe
That's fine.
like
Then maybe
like
Song goes.
well, I was thinking probably me and Song, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the rest
Like
of
a
you try to
ten, I
find the
guess.
kids because
Oh, do
Airbender,
both at the same time?
yeah.
I mean, we
Like,
don't know if the kids will be here.
Yeah,
but-
I mean, I can't see anyway, so yeah.
We,
What are they gonna?
right, we distract well, and we like legitimately could talk to them while everyone else looks around.
That's true. Yeah, we could say we want to see all their, how many men they have, stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's do that. All right.
Okay, so
Great.
we've got two things happening. We've got one group who is going in, introducing themselves and saying like, we're looking to hire some muscle for a job. And while that's happening, we've got another group who's going to be kind of like sneaking around, trying to find any evidence of these kids or if they're here or where they might be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that
Yes.
sound correct? Who is doing what?
Mhm.
I
Uh,
can sneak around.
Kiona, Uzuri, and Ting are sneaking.
Kiona, Uzuri, and Ting are going to be sneaking around, and Sapa and Song are going to be the distraction crew trying to hire them. Okay, that makes sense.
That wasn't anything. That was an accident. I didn't defend and maneuver against anything.
Well, you hit.
Well,
I mean, it's good.
You dodged the rake that I stepped on.
Sweet.
Okay, so we'll do Sapa and Song first. You guys just kind of like walk in, announce yourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
See if that works.
You walk in, you see a couple groups of people. You see those two guards initially that kind of came around the corner to investigate. They're like, "What?
Mhm.
What are you doing here?" They seem standoffish. They're kind of like little on guard.
Oh, easy. We're actually here. We heard you guys are businessmen. You supply labor for projects that people might need to get done around the city.
Yeah, I mean, we might do that. We might be. Depends on
Okay,
on the
well.
type of labor you're looking for, though.
We got a job coming up. We need maybe 4 more guys. It's a quick snatch and grab. There's a few diamonds going through one of the upper districts.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger shipment than they usually get. They don't have the security to actually do it. The plan is it's just a way station. Diamonds are only supposed to be there for a couple hours until they get moved to the next location. We show up right after they get delivered, snatch the stones, and get out of here. We need maybe 4 more guys to make it happen.
Mm. Let me go get the boss. Hey, we might be able to have a little bit of a discussion.
Okay.
So what are Ting, Kiona, and Uzuri up to?
Is there a back door?
It is an open lot.
I guess I thought there was like a.
There's like structures and buildings, like a kind of like a warehouse ish.
Yeah.
But like it's a lumberyard. There's just like outside wood. There's some cutting. It's like a kind of like open area with small little like huts and structures.
Um, well, there don't seem to be any children obviously hanging out in the yard, so I think that we should go into some of these smaller structures to look for clues.
Do we
Oh,
see where they're headed as far as the boss, like where the boss is located?
You can
Instead of
kind of
going-
see there's like one building that the people like seem to be coming in and out of. Maybe in there.
think
I
we
Is
was
should
there a
go
back door
towards
to that building?
Yes, team.
I was gonna suggest, like, what if we? Well, I mean, this is just Ting because he likes to be high up, but he was gonna suggest, why don't we get like the higher ground and just kind of like observe and be ready to jump in if things go south.
Well, I think we were trying to do like extra exploring, right?
Oh, okay,
While they had the distraction up.
sure, yeah.
There's like a back door on the building, but there's probably like some window openings you can try to like climb through. But it's a pretty small building. You're not sure if the inside is like totally open or if there'd be a place for you to like hide if you just kind of
If
like
you went in.
climbed in through a window.
Does Ting want to be like high up and watching us to be back up, and then I like go peer through the window?
Which way is the sun facing? Will my shadow be cast?
I don't want to be too far away from you guys after accidentally separating before in like when we were disguised and stuff. I want to stick close to Kiona and Uzuri. Kiona to keep an eye on her to make sure
Alright.
she doesn't mess up again, and Uzuri because I care about him and I want to make sure he's doing okay.
I can rely on my skills and training to sneakily look through the window.
Go for it. I don't think you need to roll for that. Like you can kind of like look through the window. You can look through the window and see what's going on inside.
What is going on inside?
You see a man with a nice full beard, hair like black curly hair inside at like a desk, kind of like writing, taking notes, and you see a couple of miscreants around, just kind of like chilling, playing arcade games and billiards, like in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I guess I don't know what these kids do. A Foot Clan hideout in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but the Earth Kingdom equivalent of that.
Like
Going back to
marbles or
Daredevil,
something?
just the hand. It's whatever the hand is
That's
doing.
the foot. And as you're kind of like looking in, two people enter, and it's like, "Hey, boss, we got someone who might have a job for us." And him and he gets up and leaves, leaving probably like two people in the building that you can still see, and then the three others kind of walk back over to Sapa and Song outside.
What if we hold him hostage?
I was gonna say that. Let's ambush them.
But right now, wait, we should wait to see what everybody else is doing.
But they might have information.
Right, we can always get that information. We'll tackle them if they try to run. How about that?
Why would they run?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Zuri, we should.
I mean,
ambush
there's
'em.
if he doesn't want to do it, it's just each of us gets one person. It still works.
Yeah,
I
I
never
know.
strike the first blow, so
You
I'm not
just told
attacking.
me that I should be more results oriented.
I meant like in like. Well, okay,
Go
we didn't
for
really
it.
talk about.
What are your
He's like, go
principles?
for it in the
Action?
world.
Action,
I call
forgiveness.
on
Yeah.
I call on Ting to live up to his principle of action.
So that's
Not even looking for the kids. You just like, hey, let's knock these guys out. Why?
No, we want to intimidate them.
Well,
and
here,
find the kids.
where are the kids? We gotta get the information from them.
Right. So you're calling me out on action, Ben?
Yes, I
Okay.
am.
So you have to roll with my action principle.
Good job,
Is that how
guys.
that works?
And I have to
Oh,
shift
man.
away from center. Is this more friendship or survival oriented? Probably survival.
Are you
Not their
are you centered
survival.
right now, Kiona?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, you pick which
Um,
direction.
So
I'm
I
balanced.
roll with their principle,
Yep.
It's 0 right
So
now
you're-
which is 0.
because I'm balanced.
Knock these guys out, drag them out of the building, and then ask them questions like in the woods, I guess.
Animus, they can demand that you act in accordance with one of your principles instead.
So
Mark a condition or act as they request.
yeah, so Kiona, you're like, come on, we gotta do something. We have to, like, we can't just sit around and watch, right? And Ting, you're like,
Yes.
no.
No.
And then you can
Yeah. I'm gonna say I'm gonna call you out on acting like a true friend and letting Sapa and Song carry out their plan first before we take any action.
Kiona, you can accept that or you can mark a condition.
Um, I'll just accept it.
All right. And with that, we go back to Sapa and Song. You see 3 people approaching, the same 2 that were up there, and then a new guy who's pretty big. He's like tall, really muscular. Seems very intimidating. And he reaches a hand out. Is like, the name's Lei Fang. I heard you might have a job.
Yeah,
We're looking to hire some guys for
a little snatch and grab at a diamond store in one of the upper districts. It's actually, well, it's the middle district before it goes to the upper district to the store where the diamonds really belong. This is just a way station as it comes in through the city. Could only be there for a little while. We need maybe 4 other guys to kind of help manage, do crowd control, and help us on the getaway.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I got some guys to spare. I've got a couple people on the uptake I could probably pay off too, if you're willing to throw some extra money my way, get some guards maybe restationed for a shift or 2, make sure the area is a little bit clear.
Well, how much would all this run us?
Out of character, an amount that you probably don't have.
Yep.
But not.
Basically, whatever number you were going to say, I was going to be like, I don't have that much.
Yeah, it's a high amount. It's like a reasonable amount for what is being requested of them.
Yeah. Gasp.
But not quite what you may have. I mean, you could just kind of roll with it and be like, yeah, sure. Or you could be like, well, I don't have.
Don't worry,
I don't have that much cash up front, but we can give you a cut.
Oh well, I mean, like it's a 50 down, 50 after.
Yeah. And tell you what. Let's talk a little. A few more details, and let's make sure that we're the right fit. We gotta. Not that we'll ever completely trust each other, right? But I think we got to establish a baseline of trust here. So maybe we talk a few details and stuff, and
meet the guys who are going to be on the team. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And then when we feel good, we'll give you the 50 down.
Yeah. Why don't you come back with me to my office and we can talk about it.
Yeah.
No sense being out here in the sun all day. I get you some water, something to drink.
Yeah, because I don't know where everybody else is, so your office sounds like a great place to be.
Yeah. Let's Do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Song's gonna say, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. We'll say
let's go to
Uzuri.
your office.
You notice they
Could we get a tour of like your training facilities, maybe, as we go through, see what your operation's really about?
I mean, this ain't really a training facility. I could show you around. Maybe we could talk to some of my people.
Yeah. You know,
See if any
Sounds
of them.
great.
Okay,
Let's do that.
sure. We don't need to go right to my office, I guess. And like he immediately he starts to step and then like turns and like, well, we'll go over this way instead, and he takes you to another little building, has a few different people in there, probably like 5 or 6 folks inside.
Mhm.
And we will cut back to Ting, Kiona, and Uzuri.
Perfect.
You see Sapa, Song, Lei Fang, and a few others kind of walk away. They're no longer in eyesight. You see these 2 people inside.
Uzuri, I don't know what to do.
I think we just need to lay low. We need to get information somehow, though. We don't know what the others had gotten.
I guess we can like follow behind Song and Sapa at a distance and be ready to intervene if and when the shit hits the fan.
Yeah, I think a surprise attack is, if needed.
Uzuri, you realize you're thinking about this and you think, well, this is his office. Like, this is where he was doing paperwork in here. There might be some important documentation.
What if we
something
make a
inside this building.
distraction to lure these 2 guys out? Another distraction, and then someone can go in and look inside the office and see if there's any information about the children. Since Ting doesn't want to just ambush these guys.
I took a vow never to strike the first blow.
Isn't what me and Justin doing the whole distraction?
Yes, but there's still 2 people in the office.
Yes, but we should have more distractions. Dan.
More distractions.
We could have more distractions.
We have to layer the distractions.
My apologies.
I
Yes,
wanted
you're
to
right.
take the time to ambush the people and then to get information from them, but Ting doesn't want to.
All right.
I mean, Kiona, you're free to do what you want. You're free to go in.
Can I, if we're gonna try, I hear Kiona's plan. I go, all right, Kiona, let me try this. And can I use my can I rely on my skills and training to possibly like use my airbending to throw my voice outside the door or something and say,
Is that a thing airbenders can do?
I thought they could throw their voice.
Sure.
It's just a really good ventriloquist.
I mean, sound does travel on air.
Why not? I'll allow it. Yes, and.
Yeah. Yes, and
Yeah.
all right.
But I'm gonna try now. Just to let you know, I do
That's
have,
your new airbending technique.
yeah,
Yes, and
I do have a -1 to focus, so this might not work anyways. But
Okay. Well, that's it though. You're on your way to becoming a master.
Yeah, true.
So, but basically, yeah, what I'm trying to do is throw my voice maybe like around the corner or outside the door and say like, "Hey, we need some help out here," or something like that. Like,
You're
just like trying to call them out.
Okay.
Yeah, you do it in one direction and I'll go the other way.
So okay, that is rely on your skills and training, and yep.
Yep.
It goes the same way that I go.
Oh no.
Oh, that is like
That's the worst one.
I can't help that.
Oh, that's not the worst one. That's not the worst one.
So
That's a modified
Zuri
two.
was already running a different direction, right?
It's not
Running a
nat
different
two.
way.
It goes the same direction I go.
Yeah, so
That's how I'd play it out.
you try to throw your voice and be like, "Hey, we need some help out here."
Yeah.
And the 2 people inside are me like, "That's not That's not a voice I recognize. I don't know who that is. We're all best friends here. I would know everybody's voice if they tried to call for me.
Everyone.
That must be coming from around the corner. And they walk outside and they immediately see the three of you.
You guys are the worst at stealth.
Oh,
Oh man.
hey, thanks for coming out. I have this big problem over here. We're supposed to be getting a tour, and we lost our tour guide.
Oh, you guys got a problem, all right. And they kind of like crack their knuckles.
Oh.
Hold on. We don't need to go straight to that, do we?
Oh, I think we do. And you guys are going to be in combat.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I
Justin's
didn't throw the
like,
first
I
blow.
wanted to be in combat so badly.
I like this.
So
So you got a group of mercenaries inside who are kind of like, oh no, we're not having this. So why don't you guys decide on your approach? The three of you,
mhm.
while the mercenaries decide on theirs.
Mm.
So does song hear this commotion going down?
You might in a little bit once it after like
Escalates.
one exchange.
Okay. I know what I'm doing.
Split the party, and now you're fighting.
I know what I'm doing.
I didn't try to fight. They chose to fight me.
Yeah. So the three of you have decided what you're doing?
Yep.
Okay. The NPCs chose to obviously advance an attack. So did any of you guys choose to
Get him,
defend?
boys!
Any of you guys choose to defend and maneuver?
I did.
I did.
Okay. So Kiona, Uzuri, you two get to kind of decide amongst yourselves who wants to go first.
Usually can.
No, it doesn't matter. So I have pinpoint aim as a combat technique.
So the first thing you do is you roll your 2d6.
Oh, sorry. I haven't done combat since our,
Oh, you're fine. Yeah,
our
you
very first
for
session
defend
0.
and maneuver, you roll with focus.
Okay. Oh.
So that is a miss.
Then I get to select what I do.
On a miss,
It-
you stumble, but you can shift your balance away from center to use one of the basic techniques: ready, retaliate, or seize a position.
I can shift my center, I guess I'll shift my center to,
So you shift your balance away from center.
or sorry, my balance. Yeah, I will shift my balance.
Cool. You can ready, retaliate, or seize a position. One of the three basic techniques.
I will retaliate.
Okay. So each time a foe inflicts fatigue or a condition or shifts your balance, you kind of inflict a fatigue back. Kiona, it's now your turn.
I am going to use my slippery eelhound feature. So I have to. I still have to roll with focus. Correct.
That is the first thing you do. Yeah, when you resolve your approach.
I still miss. Also. So. The.
On a miss, you stumble, but you can shift your balance away from center to use one of the basic techniques.
Great. I will do that. Also. I'd like to do seize a position.
Okay.
I'd like to establish, or no, I'd like to escape the scene.
Mm-hmm. So you're trying to run,
Yeah.
and I think you have one of your playbook moves enhances that somehow.
Well, that's what the slippery eel hound is, but since I didn't do it. Well, it says when you defend a maneuver and choose to use seize a position to escape the scene, foes must mark an additional 2 fatigue to stop you, and you may bring any allies within reach when you retreat.
Yeah, so you're doing that.
So I am doing that even though I stumbled.
Yeah, you're still using seize a position, but at the cost of shifting your balance.
I see. Great. So I would like to try to escape with everyone.
Yeah,
if they're willing.
Well, it's just you and technically one other person.
For the slippery eel hound, I can only take one ally.
I guess you
Allies
should bring
within
any
reach, you
allies
said, right?
within reach when you retreat. Unfortunately, the guards are going to stop you and take 2 fatigue
Okay.
to do so. So at this point, the guards get to go. And they will be striking Uzuri. They're going to have Uzuri mark 2 fatigue.
All right. Since I read,
You get to choose. You can either mark 2 fatigue, mark a condition, or shift your balance away from center. You get to pick one of those 3 things.
I will mark 2 fatigue.
And then they take a fatigue back because of your retaliating technique.
Correct.
Okay.
And I'll put that back up there.
King, you chose to evade and observe.
Yes.
So why don't you go ahead and roll with creativity?
Okay. Well, it's or harmony, right?
Or harmony, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do harmony because I have 2 for that. And I got a 9.
Cool. So on a 9, you can use a basic or mastered technique.
I'm going to basic. And I'm going to... I'm going to test balance. Basically, I mark a fatigue, and I get to challenge and engage foes' balance. Ask what the principle is, and they must answer honestly. So what is their principle?
Survival.
Survival. All right, I go. Guys, what are you even doing this about? Probably go like, "Arg, just trying to survive."
Okay. Well, I mean, you know that their principle is survival, and that's kind of what their main principle is.
Perfect. Cool. I think that's all I can do.
Mm-hmm. So that
you
was
also clear 1 fatigue if you.
Yeah, but I did that. I think that's before I clear 1
Yes.
fatigue at the top, and so
Yes.
I didn't have any fatigue.
So then you just gained 1.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you, Sapa and Song, you hear some commotion outside, and so does Lei Fang. Lei Fang's like, "Oh, don't pay any money. That's probably just some of my guys roughhousing. There's probably just some training going on. Don't worry about that." Sapa and Song, you know that it's probably something.
I look at Sapa. Well, I don't actually.
Sapa said Sapa had to use the restroom. So he's outside.
Yeah.
So I had to go use the restroom. Well, that's probably the case, if you think so. Anyway, you were saying about, and beyond snatch and grab jobs, do you guys handle anything more extreme?
I mean, we're
Any bounty hunting?
we do plenty as long as the price is right.
A lot of dignitaries come through Basing Se.
Oh yeah, Earth Kingdom capital, one of the biggest metropolises
and
in the world.
you can get if you kidnap one of them, usually just a payout, because the governments are so eager to get them back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your guys,
Where you really get them though, and not to say it's kind of rough. Not where you really get them though, is you get the dignitaries' kids. They'll give you anything, no questions. Big payouts.
Uh-huh.
You ever do anything like that? That's something you can handle?
You guys got free coffee in your office. This is great.
I mean, I think we've done some similar stuff, and we can probably work. Somebody coming in. You got an idea?
No. Fire Nation's here all the time. They have pretty robust resources. We're so far, they usually just give the authority to a local dignitary to give us the money.
Look, knows about these kids that just got snatched up, and it's a great idea. We want in. We want to. Let's snatch more kids. Screw the Fire Nation. Probably make a lot of money off of these kids. It's a great idea. The whole streets are talking about it, right? We were in the lower ring, down talking, some folks, and whoever did this, that's good on them.
Well, why didn't you just say so? Why this guy's talking around the bush? He takes his arm, puts it around your shoulder, and he's like, "We talking about? Okay, yeah, that was us. That was our job. We totally took those kids.
Those you guys. Oh wow! Oh God, that's crazy. That's great. This coffee's great, by the way.
Yeah, somebody else coming in town. I mean, we were hoping they'd just pay up, but
no, I don't know any. I don't even know the names of any Fire Nation dignitaries. You know what I mean? I'm not. I have no. That's above my pay grade. You know what I mean? You know that anyone, right? Like it's not like we just know their names. They don't release that information. But we can always keep our ear to the ground, and I think let's do this gem. Let's do this gem job. But I think we got a lot of future partnerships and a lot of future money to be made.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I'll get some guys together. Why don't you meet me tomorrow at
Well, hey, and we can talk about that gemstone job, but honestly, I think there's more money to be made with these kids, right? I mean, it sounds like you're having a problem with dropping these kids off. Like getting someone to pay up for these kids, right? I mean, maybe do you want help with that?
How about you, me, and Hana? We meet up at Gon's Noodle Shop tomorrow, and we really talk this over.
Hash this out.
Really hash this stuff out. How does that sound?
That sounds like a plan.
Awesome. Cool. Well, we need to get back to the rest of our group. This was informative and very. I believe we're going to make a lot of money together.
Yeah, and I need to go grab your cash. I'll bring it to 50 down.
Yeah. I think I'm going to take a nap. But you guys could probably see yourself out.
We'll see.
I hate doing things my character doesn't.
And he goes lays down in a cot nearby.
All right. Well, good night, sweet dreams. See you later.
All right. Yep. Bye. I'm gonna. Yep.
A little weird that you would just lay down in bed right in front of us, but
that was a little weird, but
nope.
That's a little weird, but that's fine.
I don't know. You're tired. You're tired.
Yeah. Sometimes the narrative demands I be tired. Need a nap.
Yeah,
All
okay. Let's just get out of here, I guess.
Yeah, let's go.
Maybe I should drink some of that coffee.
Uh, so when we walk out, I just kind of like whisper to Song, and I just say, "You heard that noise, right? He wasn't freaked out by that."
I don't know. I mean, these guys are pretty. We're talking about kidnapping dignitaries. Like it's nothing.
A little rough.
If they're talking about a little roughhousing, some of these guys are probably pretty hardened criminals.
I just got a feeling that there's something going on.
Yeah. The timing isn't great
something.
considering what we're doing here.
Yeah, speaking of something going on, you like turn a corner and you see Ting, Kiona, and Uzuri with like
running,
like fighting two, like actively fighting two guys.
I'm gonna.
So we're
walk
seeing this. Can
Yeah.
we just? Yeah. Can I advance an attack?
I think so. We're back. We're back. Everybody.
We're back in it.
Oh, so there's no talking our way out of this one.
No, they're fighting. I'm just going in, and
they're fighting. So why don't you? The Fang mercenaries being fighting. They have chosen their stance, and why don't all five of you choose yours?
All right, we're inside, right?
This is outside.
Oh, we're outside again. Okay, all right. I will choose evade and observe.
I also do that.
And Dalton, how do I know what I owe? All right.
So who all chose advance and attack? Or who all chose defend and maneuver? Sorry. They go first.
Ashley.
So Kiona and Song, you have the opportunity to defend and maneuver. Which of you wants to resolve your approach first?
Here, Ashley, let me just go first because my stuff's going to get resolved at a. Oh, actually, you go first because then I want to be able to say what I do.
Okay. So
Kiona, you roll with focus.
2d6 with focus. Great. 1 second. It's loading. 2d6 with focus. I click focus. Now I have to see what I rolled. It was a full hit.
Yep. So on a 10 plus, you can either mark 1 fatigue to use a learned technique, use a practice technique, or use 2 different basic or mastered techniques.
I am going to mark a fatigue to use my water whip.
Oh, wait. Ashley, let me go first. I just read the language on my thing.
Okay.
We'll let Ashley.
Yeah, sorry.
You can keep your roll, but we can let Song roll his defend and maneuver. So,
great.
Justin, you roll with focus.
Yeah.
So that's a hit.
I get a hit.
You can use a basic or mastered technique.
Sweet. I'm going to use tag team, and that's going to double any fatigue conditions or balance shifts that affect that Ashley does on these guys.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to go first. I just read the language on that. It's actually it's time sensitive.
Yeah, makes sense. So Kiona, you were going to use your water whip.
Yes.
What does that do?
So I'm marking 1 fatigue to use it. I lash out with a tendril of water. I can either mark 1 fatigue to inflict a condition or 2 fatigue on one of the goonies.
It should be 4 fatigue if you choose fatigue.
Yeah. So I'll inflict fatigue. So that'll be 4 fatigue on a goonie.
Yeah.
Cool. And my tag team is as she whips them, I put walls up behind them so they like slam into it, so it hits them harder.
That really messes them up. That fills up their fatigue, and they have to take a couple of conditions too. They're starting to look a little afraid and troubled now that like 2 more people showed up. Like before, like 2v3, that could be pretty even if you think that you're fighting some like scrawny little nomad and a young girl. But now there's like 2 more big dudes showed up.
And one of them's an earthbender.
Yeah, and one of them is an earthbender. So they're starting to get a little bit worried about this situation. Who all chose advance and attack?
I did.
Uzuri, you're up first. You can roll with passion.
Heck yeah, it's a hit.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just reading the details on these.
Can I use one of my tokens now to gain an advantage in this combat? Or like next turn
Sure.
or something? I don't know. Help Uzuri.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, he rolled a 7, so it's not, you don't really,
It's not going to do anything.
bumping
All right,
that
never
up
mind
to an
then.
8 or a
it's
9
7 to
won't
9
really
will do
change the
same
roll.
thing.
All right. I am going to. I'm going to pressure the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to intimidate them. And I choose an approach that the foe cannot choose to use that approach in the next exchange. Which is interesting. I say just advance and attack? Maybe? Sure.
Okay, so now next time they won't be able to advance or attack in the next exchange.
Yeah.
Okay. So now they resolve theirs. They're going to
Yes.
surround Kiona. So every additional attack made on that foe during this exchange inflicts an additional 1 fatigue. Every attack made by a surrounded foe forces them to suffer 1 fatigue. And then they are going to strike Kiona.
No.
So Kiona, you can either mark 2 fatigue, mark a condition, or shift your balance from center. Since they surrounded you and they're coming at you to hit you, they throw some rocks your way. You pick one of those 3 things, and you also, in addition, have to take 1 fatigue because you're
So I
surrounded.
have to take 1 fatigue,
Mhm.
and then I can take either 2 additional fatigue, a condition, or shift my balance.
Yep.
I will be afraid.
Okay. Yeah, you get surrounded. You're starting to get a little afraid, and
Yeah,
now
I'm
we
feeling
are
a little
in
bit less confident.
the evade and observe portion. I believe that's just Ting left and Sapa.
Yep.
So, of the 2 of you,
You can go first, Spence. Ting.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I evaded observe. And I'm gonna roll with harmony. And it's a miss. So I'm just gonna choose not to do anything because I would have to take a condition to still do a basic move, right?
Or fatigue?
you shift your balance away from center to use a basic technique when you miss.
Nope. No, I'm good.
Okay.
I was going to try to maybe like bolster allies, but maybe I can't get enough wind kind of behind me or something.
Sapa, you can roll with creativity or harmony.
Ooh, I'm gonna roll with harmony. So I'm gonna take the high ground. Oh wait, hold on. I rolled first. Sorry.
Mhm.
2d6 plus 2. My modifier is plus 2. I miss.
We both got 4s.
So you can shift your balance away from center and use a basic technique, or you can just go to your next turn.
Go to my next turn.
Okay, so not going to do anything. Okay, so now everybody kind of like they've surrounded Kiona, but they're looking pretty beat up. they've chosen an approach for this next thing, unless you guys want to say anything or kind of like persuade them or call them to act in any way. I know Ting knows that their principle is survival, and he could call on them to act in a particular way if he wanted to.
I kind of want to, yes.
Okay.
I was hoping to, well, I guess I could also intimidate. Could I possibly intimidate them instead? Oh, like, okay, here's what I want to do. I basically want to say to them, like, because it's only 2 guys, right? So I just want to say to them, like, hey, we outnumber you now. You might want to back off or meet our fists, basically. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't like I don't want them to fight.
Okay.
I want them to
So
back off.
why don't you roll with harmony? Or I'm sorry, passion.
Yeah. Because I am trying to intimidate them. So. All right, 9. On hit, you do it. Oh no, that's
So on a hit, they choose one of these 4 things.
Yep.
So yeah, they're going to try to run, I think.
Oh.
They see that they're definitely outnumbered now.
Haha.
And they are going to try to run away. Are you guys going to let them?
So
Are you going to?
we shouldn't let them get away.
No.
We have an appointment with their boss tomorrow. We need
no.
them to disappear.
Yeah.
Disappear?
Or just like be like tied up until after the meeting tomorrow.
Mm-hmm,
Oh.
mm-hmm.
So we're gonna kidnap them? Okay, we can do that.
Like kidnapping light. It's we're gonna let them go because like kidnapping is like, you know, that, then there's also like gain. There's no real gain. It's just like it's actually unlawful detainment.
It's adult napping, which is not as bad.
Yeah.
What if we let them go? Maybe you guys know their boss. Maybe we can just explain to them that we just got ambushed.
We were trying to.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to go to their boss and I'm going to tell them that half of our gang was sneaking around, got caught, and then got into a fight with some of their gang. Yeah. And we're just supposed to be cool. We're wasting a lot of time. And I throw a rock over at one of the running away guys and try and like knock him in the head and knock him over.
This guy, the boss, laid down on a cot and started taking a nap in front of us like an NPC. Like. Oh wait, he didn't say NPC. Sorry. The boss started like laying down and taking a nap on the cot, and it's like it was really weird. Like no,
he's hardcore.
He's not going to be a guy who understands. I don't know. Maybe I could talk to him.
Nope. Does my rock hit the guy running away?
Yeah, it kind of it hits them. We're back in an exchange. They chose to defend and maneuver. What did you guys choose?
Advance and attack.
Anybody else choose defend and maneuver?
I did.
Song, Kiona, Uzuri?
Well, I mean, I think I just announced that I was advance and attacking.
Okay.
You know, with the whole getting like that's how we're back in the exchange now. I feel like I'm committed to that.
Sorry, I'm readying. Actually, so I'm defending and maneuvering. Okay. Yeah.
What about you, Kiona?
What is readying?
It's one of the defend and maneuver.
Oh.
I'll also. I'm gonna advance and attack.
Okay, so Ting and Uzuri, which of you two wants to do your defend and maneuver first?
Uzuri, you can go first. I went first last time.
Sure. Let's see here. That's focus, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oof. Oof.
I am going to choose not to mark a fatigue.
Okay. Ting.
Just move on.
All right, here we go. I have -1. Hey, that's a 7. So I was going to seize a position.
Mm-hmm.
says move to a new location, engage or disengage with a foe. Basically, because they're running away, can I move to a location that's in between, in between where they're trying to escape from? Like,
Yeah, you can
run
try to
over
head
there?
them off.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Okay.
Basically, just be like, put my fist up, be like, you're not going anywhere. We're adult napping you, I guess.
Okay. They also chose to seize a position, and they go to run away. Anybody can take 1 fatigue to prevent that from happening.
I do it.
So now we're in advance and attack.
Mm-hmm.
Who all chose to do that?
I did.
The rest of you. Who wants to go
the rest
first?
of us.
The bad guys took defend and maneuver, right?
Yes.
Correct.
What remind me what they did?
They tried to run away, and Ting
Prevented them.
prevented that from happening.
Nice. Okay. Okay.
He intimidated them, told them to
Yep.
stand down and stop, and then they tried to do that, and then he said no.
No, because everybody
I can
freaked
go
out.
first.
Yeah, go for it.
So advance and attack, I roll with passion, which I have a +2. What'd I do? Hit. So on a 7 to 9, I can use a basic or a mastered technique. I have mastered a move called Sweep the Leg. And I will attack where an enemy is weakest or most off balance. So if my foe has a total of 3 or more fatigue and conditions marked, I inflict 2 fatigue, which I believe they should.
Yep. You sweep the leg, and it knocks them back, and they fall backwards, and they kind of hit their head on the ground, and it looks like they've fallen unconscious.
Both of them?
Yep.
All right, guys,
Sweet.
let's tie him up and get out of here.
Okay.
I mean, that was
Yeah.
the plan, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Are we bringing?
Tie
we're
them
bringing
up,
them,
gag them, and drag them out of here.
We're bringing them with us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they probably know where the kids are.
They might.
They
We can
might.
ask
They
them.
might. Yeah.
And then we don't even have to show up to the meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, we can just.
No, well, we can show up. We can show up to. Well, actually, yeah. Let's while they're all out at that meeting, and security will be late because there's just less people there. We can grab the kids.
Cool.
If they still have.
Yeah.
If
Well,
they're there.
Well,
They still have them.
Game Master,
or
we would like to tie them up and take them away.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Sapa?
I was gonna say, if we can find the kids before this meeting happens, maybe we can secure the kids and then alert the authorities. Well, it would be the Anti-Corruption Task Force, which is not the group we want to alert.
So you're able to
You could.
tie and gag them and try to get out of there.
We would like to
You
do
could
so.
you could drop. We could drop a note that they'll be there at the Corruption League Task Force door. It can just be a note. They're not going to know.
No, I guess I was saying like the meeting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like instead of us just showing up, we could literally just have like
The Anti-Corruption Task Force show up instead. Yeah. Let's do that.
yeah.
Well, let's get
And
out of
it's
here first.
that's if we find the kids.
Yeah, it's if we get out of
If
here
we find the
first.
kid.
If we get out of here first. Yes, Kiona.
All right. So we're dragging them away.
Mhm.
I'm sure that there's a way
Actually,
to
I'm
do
gonna
this
create
better.
little stone. I'm gonna create little earth wheels like logs,
Mhm.
and it's just gonna like roll them along.
Yeah, we've got like a little cart.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just like into
Like a little.
out of the area. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Just like they're on this little conveyor belt now
Mhm.
that I've
Can we,
whipped
like,
up.
Cover them up somehow so people don't see us wheeling like these unconscious bodies.
Can I make a big dome? We're just like this moving mound.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, we're a big moving mound. We're a tank.
Overall,
It's super conspicuous. but,
overall, like 7 of you, or just like over the 2 of them on wheels, and you're just
Just over the two of them on wheels. It's our cabbage cart.
Okay.
I mean, can it be all 7 of us? You know, like, can we make a giant tank? Sounds sick. I'm sorry.
Okay, so Song, you've earthbended.
I don't know what the limits of my earthbending are.
We'll say you earthbended a little like wooden cart on some like rollers, and you're earthbending that along
Okay.
out of here.
Sure.
And you managed to make it out of the lumberyard and into like the surrounding area. And
How far are we from Songs?
Huh?
How far are we from Songs?
From Song's place? That's across town.
That seems like a
Plus
far
the
away to...
corruption task force raided it like last week or like 2 days ago.
Yeah, so we shouldn't go back there.
Yeah, it's
Where are
probably
we
pretty
gonna
hot right now.
Go.
I don't know. We could
taking
probably
them?
probably ask what's her name, Mayfong.
Mei Yang?
Mayong.
Mei Yang?
Meow.
Men Yang.
Meow.
You still
don't
haven't
know.
found Meng Yao. You don't know where she
We don't
don't know
is.
know
this
where
woman.
she is.
Yeah, she's missing.
You haven't really looked for her to figure out what
We
she's
need
up to.
to be missing.
Does anybody else have any friends down here?
Can I assess the situation to see if there's like a place we
Oh
can
yeah,
hide?
could we hold up at like maybe somebody in the neighborhood? Like, are we liked enough for that? Would somebody be willing to give us like? I mean, they have to like us a lot to help us like hide two alive to help with this, light kidnapping.
We'll say that you can go to a place nearby that might
So like
let
a
you.
tool shed we can just kind of use that nobody really uses.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay, I know this one place. Kids usually go there to drink soju.
Kids?
Oh,
They steal
Kids
from their
drink soju?
parents. But like, no, we can just like scare them off and be like, "Hey, get out of here, kids! Don't do drugs.
Don't.
Oh yeah, as soon as I see an adult
Leave
of
that
any kind,
soju.
I would run away.
Leave it. Put that in that soju.
Leave the
Booze, you lose.
soju. Okay. Yeah, you guys go kind of like laying a little bit low, trying to avoid people seeing you pulling this cart around and you go to some kid's secret base. And you tell them to get lost.
Yeah.
I'm loving this plan already.
Um
Going great.
Oh,
probably
what's the Korean word when they call him like big bro, like the Korean equivalent?
I don't know.
Oppa? I can't remember.
I know the Japanese equivalent, but I don't know the Korean.
Yeah. But anyway, they scram, they get lost. They're
No?
like, come on, like what do you mean we got to get lost? We're just
Come on,
hanging
man,
out.
Get lost. You can take the soju. Just get out of here.
Hyung? I think
Alright, fine.
Is hyung the word you were looking for? Or oppa? Oppa is a word also.
I think it might have been Oppa. I can't remember. I haven't read a Korean thing in a long time.
Older brother is oppa and big brother is hyung.
Okay.
Either of those sound familiar.
Oppa sounds familiar, but I don't know if I would be using it in the right context.
Okay.
But
But
we
anyway, so we kick out these teenagers. And,
yeah, you kick out the teenagers. They only really do it because they recognize you, Song.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Just
And tell your mom I say hi and that the bao were delicious.
yeah. We'll tell them. Stop being so weird around my mom.
I'm not weird around your mom. Your mom brings me bao. That's not weird. You're weird.
Stay away from my mom's buns, Song, and they bolt. If you guys want to keep going, we can keep going. Or if anybody needs to call it, we can do growth questions and wrap up the session.
I mean, this might be a good stopping point.
Yeah, this might be a good
seems
stop
like
point,
it.
and then we can do the final leg
Yeah, we'll do growth
to
questions.
wrap it up.
Okay, cool. So to remind everybody, at the end of every session of Avatar Legends, all the characters have growth questions that they kind of answer, and they have to do with like things they learned about the world or their character or the things around them, and it's how progression works. So the first question you all have to ask yourself is, did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world? For expediency's sake, did anybody think they answer yes to that question that they want to share?
Does finding out who did the kidnapping count?
Yeah.
If you
Now
guys
we
think
know
so,
who did the kidnapping.
if you think that counts, you can answer yes to that.
I think so.
Do you
All
think
right.
that counts? You're the game master.
This is a collaborative thing. What's up, Song?
I got my fourth growth question with that one.
Very cool. We can get to that once we wrap around on all the questions.
Now, well, as an important question, do I keep going?
Yes. Yeah,
Like,
every
start
4
over?
you get a thing.
Okay.
So you've hit
Wait,
4,
so-
now it'll wrap around.
So I'm kind of confused because I only have one growth question on my sheet.
So there's
Oh.
3 general ones, and each playbook has a specific one.
Oh, okay.
The
this is
second
probably-
general one is, did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem? I don't think you guys have really stopped any threats or solved
No.
any problems yet.
Not really.
We knocked 2 guys out, and they, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
we
and then-
wouldn't really stop. We delayed it.
Yeah.
We learned more about it, I guess.
Yeah.
And then for the final question, did you guide a companion towards balance or end the session at your center? I
did.
think a couple of you have done that.
I helped guide Uzuri. He didn't want it, but I did help.
I mean, did in that exchange, did Uzuri like refuse that, or did you just like succeed in doing it?
She succeeded, right? With the roll.
I thought I did because you. Well, I guess, did
if
you
I remember right,
shift your
Uzuri
balance at
marked
all, or did you
fatigue
just
to
clear the
refuse the
condition?
to refuse it.
He didn't clear the condition because I ended up clearing the condition.
Yeah, I just
No.
helped him clear fatigue then instead of
Yeah.
actually
It
shifting
was fatigue, yeah.
balance.
So I think Ting, you definitely did that though.
Yeah, he asked for my advice on letting go of the past.
So
and I
Ting,
gave him
you can
some
answer.
that
You answer yes to that question, and then the rest of you, if you ended the session at your center on your balance track, you answer yes to the question.
Love being at my center. Let's
So
go.
when you say at your center,
Mhm.
is it the little red dot or the blue things?
So the red dot
That-
on your character sheet is your center, and then the
Yes.
little the blue bracket is where your balance is currently. So the blue bracket and the red dot need to be at the same position for you to answer yes to that question.
Great, I did not do that.
All right. Let's see here. Uzuri, what is your playbook's growth question?
My growth question is, did you seek support or guidance from others? And I
You
did.
did.
I would say so.
from my lodestone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got an X for that.
What about you, Kiona? What's your growth question?
Did I get a friend to join in or approve of one of my bad habits? Yes. It didn't go well, but I did get you guys on board with trespassing.
Yep. Song, what about you? What's the bold's growth question?
The bold's growth question is, did I express vulnerability by admitting I was wrong and that you should have listened to somebody that you ignored? Nope, I was right the whole time.
Yep, Song did not mess up one bit.
Song was on board that.
Yeah, Song was on point.
Song needs to take more impulsive decisions. Maybe Song will just start punching people in public next time. I'm not playing a bold very well. I think that's the problem.
Sapa, what about you?
Yeah, so the pillars growth is, did you help a companion find a significant success with their issue, or lead them in finding a significant success. So I'm going to say
so.
the second part, yes, I helped the group lead to a significant collective success. We found out, I think our mission was a success, right? We got the information, we set a meeting. We, we didn't, we got into a small engagement, but we were able to end it pretty quickly and, grab them and come out. I'd say, overall that was a, successful mission. So,
Yeah.
Okay. Ting, what about you?
I did not get mine. Mine was, did you improve the lives of a community or of average citizens, or help an ordinary person with their problems? Nope. It was all focused on us today.
I think you improved the lives of the community just by existing.
Aww, that's
Aw.
really sweet.
But that does not count.
But that does not count as a growth.
It doesn't count.
So if anybody's marked off for growth at this point, counting what happened last time, you're able to take a growth advancement.
Yes.
That includes things like taking a new move from your playbook, taking a new move from another playbook if you really want to. If you want to look through other playbooks and take a move from them, you could grab one of those. You can raise a stat.
Firebending. I'm the next avatar.
You could raise a stat by +1 up to a max of +2. You can shift your center one way or the other. Not like your balance, but like your actual like center of balance. Or you can unlock your moment of balance, which is like a special, like a one-time use special move in your playbook.
What is my moment of balance? The greatest heroes of your age have overwhelming confidence, but balance isn't about pursuing greatness for the sake of greatness. You find a way to stand your companions like no one else could. Tell the GM how you'd like to strike down an impossibly strong enemy or obstacle to protect your friends.
Yeah, moment of balances are cool.
Oh,
Yeah, I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Do we choose when we get to use the moment of balance once we like unlock it?
Yes, you like unlock the ability to use it. And then at any point when you are centered, you can use it, I believe, are the rules for the moment of balance.
you can use it unlimited times though.
No, it's
No.
a one-time use
No,
thing.
once.
One time you have to be centered though.
Yeah.
You can unlock it twice, but yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
throughout the life of your character, there are maximum of 2 times you're able to use it.
I think if I'm reading the pillars moment of balance correctly, and GM, you can tell me if I'm interpreting this wrong, but it almost seems just like a free clear, like a free path.
Yes. All of the moments of
I think
balances are like, I, the player, get to decide a thing about the world, and it is so.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. Interesting.
Like mine is the beat the baddie. That's the
Mine is I say the right thing to everyone,
Aw, mine.
Oh, cool.
and we all start working together perfectly.
Oh, that's awesome. Mine is, I tell the GM how my compassionate actions end a conflict utterly and completely.
I lead my companions to break all the rules to accomplish an incredible feat.
So you guys are free to kind of look through, decide what your growth thing is over the next little bit of time off camera. It's kind of a lot of things you can pick from, like especially just being able to pick a move from another playbook. You could technically have to read all of the other playbooks and look at all of those other moves to pick a relevant thing. That's a lot of options.
Cool.
So feel free to think about that on your own if you have it. But I'll keep an eye on the chat to see if anybody says anything. But does anybody have anything they want to say about the session? Any questions or stuff to keep in mind before we sign off?
I thought everybody role played really well today. I felt like everybody's like really into their characters, and I don't know. I think everybody's doing a great job, kind of like role playing a different member of each bender in this game and such, and Sapa, of course.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've just overall really been enjoying it. I like combat. I'm not quite adept at it yet. I'm sure people have been noticing me flipping through my pages because I have to keep referring to it. But I think it's really cool. It's been really interesting, and I like that we have these different moves. Sometimes I want to do stuff and it's not necessarily relevant, so I think that's why it's nice to be playing for more than one session also, because it's more opportunities to do different things. Like this was my first time using the water whip, and the slippery eel hound and stuff like that. So it's been cool. I do have a question. I don't know how you get a practiced technique.
You have to like practice the techniques.
You find a master to teach you.
Well, I guess it looks under learned.
Does it go learned,
technique.
then practiced, then mastered?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have to use a learned technique to move it to practiced.
So since I used my water whip, does that mean I get to make it a practice technique?
I think so. I don't know if it's multiple times or just one time.
It's just one time.
Sweet, guys.
Because that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to, at the end there, the defend and maneuver, I was trying to use my air swipe to like get it up to, but I didn't roll high enough. And I got like the soft hit instead of the hard hit, so I couldn't use the technique.
Gotcha. But yeah, I think it's once you use a thing successfully, it moves up to the next tier.
That's cool.
What is doomed?
I think that's
It's
one
a
of the
condition.
statuses.
Yeah.
Like various statuses can be inflicted. Doomed is you're in grave danger. Jinx. Mark 1 fatigue every few seconds until you free yourself. So like every exchange you have to mark a fatigue until you no longer have the doomed status.
Huh. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I'm looking at quicksand as one of the techniques.
Ooh.
And they become impaired, then they become something's trapped, and then they become doomed
That's cool.
as they sink into the quicksand.
Yeah.
Dang.
There's another cool one called Thick Mud. I guess we can wrap up.
Yeah, let's wrap up. So I want to give heavy thanks to Magpie Games and Avatar Studios for Avatar Legends, the game. Thank you to Roll20, which is like the virtual tabletop, and I think Magpie Games made the character sheets and stuff and all the integrations. But thank you to that.
Cool.
Thank you to let's see here, Kevin MacLeod for the little interstitial song. It sounds very fun that I don't think anybody here actually heard, but if you were on the stream during our break, you definitely heard it. And thank you to Hero Forge for little character creator used. They've been very
I
handy.
think that name said McLeod.
MacLeod?
Is
That is
it?
MacLeod.
It's MacLeod. Yeah, it's McLeod.
Really?
Oh,
I've always
I had
pronounced
no
it
idea.
MacLeod. Good to know. So yeah, Kevin MacLeod, thank you for the song. The song in particular was Eastern Thought is the background music.
It is pronounced that. I literally just did a Google search and they have a actual pronunciation for it.
Yeah, no, Scottish stuff is all the Gaelic stuff's all the spellings kind of.
Oh man.
If you think that's wonky, you should see the Welsh spelling for Owen. It's like 7 letters long. I'm not kidding.
We've all been caught off guard by how the French pronounce lieutenant.
Yes.
But thank you to all of those folks. We'll be back eventually to wrap up this little quest. Keep an eye out on the YouTube channels and various socials for us. And we'll let you know when our next session will be.
Most likely June 11th at noon.
Probably June 11th at noon. All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you for spending your Sunday afternoon with us.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in.